I got
All right, we're live. Will, you want to do the intro again?
Hell no. Sorry.
All right. What's
Usually
going
the
on,
curse word, I'm sorry.
Welcome back to Fireside Rangers. I'm your host, Eric Wilson. Today joined by my co-hosts, Colin Alcabes and Will Cohen. Today we're going live. It only took 18 seconds for Will to give us a crotch shot. And yeah, we're doing it a little bit early today because I'm busy later. I'll obviously be watching the game, but from 6:30 until game time, my schedule's booked. So we're hitting you with the late afternoon live stream. So to everyone that's joining us, welcome. I don't remember where I was at in the intro. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Something about a 5-star review and social media accounts. And if you're just joining us, drop some questions down in the chat. Anything you want us to talk about, and we most certainly will. Roderick already putting in his bet for the over under 5 beers consumed by Colin this live stream.
I'm hammering the over. I'm hammering the over like Colin's going to hammer those beers.
I'm going to have to get more beer.
But
wrong. I got 2, maybe 3. Let me look. Nope, I got 2.
Well, you might have to leave for a little bit to go grab some because I think a lot of people are going to put in their bets on the over here.
How long is it? An hour?
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't have to be an hour. We can go for an hour, go longer. It kind of really just depends on how the live stream's doing. But we got some people here in the chat already asking us a couple questions here. What's going on, Shen Hung? What's going on, Roderick? Mike says, Kiddo and I are heading to soccer. Then we're planting ourselves for hockey. And he loves my hat. Thank you very much. It's new. Roderick said, with that hat, I guess I'm over already. No, I'm all good. We're at 0 at the moment. I got my cup of juice that I'll be sipping on throughout the live stream, but that's about it. James asks, does Rempe get another BS call on him? I'm going to say probably. I mean, at this point of the series, anytime Rempe does anything, they just make up a penalty. What was it last game? Interference?
Yeah, that was that the one on Van Riemsdyk? He murdered him on the net.
Mm-hmm.
Good hit.
But he had the puck. He got rid of the puck like half a second before Rempe hit him.
What's it called? I was talking about this with my friend earlier. He's an Islanders fan. I don't talk to him a lot. But but he was telling me, he was like, why do they keep calling all these soft calls on Rempe? And I think it's just because of the effect that he had in the regular season, and they're trying to stop anything from really boiling over early on. Maybe once we get later in the series. But I don't think they want Rempe mania going on in the first 2 games of the season, the first 3 games of the postseason. I mean, the Jets just scored. Told you well.
I should probably put on that game, but I will at some point.
But I think they're just trying to limit the amount of fighting and all that stuff early on. I feel like they've been trying to slowly wean it out of the game. Obviously, it's part of the game, so you can't take it out fully. But they're trying to prevent it from just being an absolute slugfest early on in a series, just because it'll only get worse as the series goes on.
I mean, that's true, I guess, but I'm kind of in agreement with Shen Hung here. Let me see. Is it going to let me do it? No. Okay.
It never lets you do it.
Yeah, every once in a while it'll work. Refs hate New York for real. Like the littlest of hits and stuff we get called for. I kind of agree with that. I mean, I get what you said, Colin. It makes 100% sense, but I would like to see Rempe just not get penalized for something that shouldn't be a penalty. It'd make me a lot happier. Mike just said, I was reading Twitter this morning, and the Washington beat writers said Rempe hit was reprehensible. It's a good pun. And he was a dirty player. Did you see Adam Wilson's comment on Twitter? No, I did not see the comment on Twitter. But the fact that they're calling Rempe a dirty player, I don't like that. I mean, he's had some questionable hits, but again, I don't think anything that he's done throughout his career so far was intentional. I know the one that he got suspended for was like a hit to the head, but again, that wasn't really Rempe's fault. Like, he's just big, and he's just so tall that anytime he hits someone, it just naturally goes to a dude's head. You can't control that. But I don't know. How do you feel about it, Will?
I was talking about it with my dad on, when did we play? Friday? Yeah, Friday, and we were both questioning it. I don't think it should be a penalty. Bingo just ripped off another ear on his toy. We didn't think it was a penalty, but I mean, I kind of like I guess I can see why they did. I guess, but at the same time, like they're calling him for they're calling him for things that aren't the right call. Like if you're gonna call him on it shouldn't have been an interference. Yes, like on Friday. If anything, it should have been a charging. But I don't know. I don't. I think maybe there's some not dirty. There's some penalties that he had that should be called, but some of them are just like, I don't know, really. Like you're not just gonna swallow your whistle there. Like it's not a penalty. You gotta hold the whistle. So I don't know. I think he's getting a bad rep this series. It's crazy. I mean, some of those penalties are genuinely crazy to call on him. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just grateful that nothing happened with Panarin. You know, when they were reviewing it for a major. Like if it ended in him getting suspended, I would have lost my mind probably. But we're all good.
That hit was clean, which I respect from Oshie.
It was clean. They were the right call on that.
Yeah, I mean even Oshie went on TNT. Biz was like, "What do you think that hit?" And Oshie was like, "It was good hit. Like I like that style of play. I like when players play like that. Like there's nothing wrong with it." He even said himself he accidentally got my head. It's just how it is. And I really respected Oshie for that. I gained respect for him.
Yeah, I didn't see that Oshie said that, but respect to him. You know, just appreciating the game and how everything works right there. James asked, "Series go on? You think DC wins tonight?" I think it's possible. I mean, again, we're the only team remaining that hasn't lost a game so far. You know, at some point, the Rangers are going to lose a game. You know, as much as we like to say that they will as a joke, like they're not going to go 16-0. They're going to lose a playoff game at some point. Yeah. And the Capitals, the last two games, they've started off the game as the better team. Sure, it's only lasted a few minutes before the Rangers just catch up and retake momentum and everything. But, you know, again, Charlie Lindgren, very good. At some point, Ovi's got to wake up, right? At some point, the Rangers are going to lose. It could be tonight, but I could also see the Rangers just coming out and dominating and doing the thing that I'm not allowed to say because I'm a jinx. But I don't know. I'm still confident. I've said it a few times. This is like the only playoff series I've ever watched where I've never felt like nervous for a single second. As soon as the matchup was locked, I was like, okay, like we're good. And I'm usually terrified for playoffs. Like any other year against any other team, I'd probably be sitting right now like shaking. All I could think about is how nervous I am. But I'm cool, calm, and collected at the moment. I'm confident.
I think the game is important. I think that when you look at, you know, games like this where a team's back is up against the wall. I mean, we've seen it with the Rangers multiple times. Obviously not back from 3-0, but from 3-1 multiple times. I can recall 3 in my lifetime, which is crazy that most teams can't even say they've seen it.
That's nuts.
But when you have your back up against the wall like this, you become a completely different team. We saw it last night with the Islanders. Just when we thought they were down and out, they managed to somehow pull it together and play a competent, complete game against the Hurricane. You know, you're seeing it from the Lightning. Played probably one of their best games of the season last night. Really
they looked good yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, all it takes is a spark. I know it hasn't happened a lot, but you get these teams, these desperate teams, willing to do anything. It just changes the game. It flips everything you know on its side, and you just have to make sure that we stay true to our game. We don't fall into their game and what they're trying to do, and we just stay true to what we've been doing. And as long as they do that and they don't go chasing for anything, and they just continue to chug along and trust in the system and play our game and our style, I think that, you know, we can close this out tonight. But it's anybody's game. I mean, all they need to do is have their best day on our worst. And we've seen that happen a couple times where a team like the Blue Jackets, who had no business winning a game, comes in, has a really good game on one of our worst, and they steal one. I would like to not give them any momentum or any spark of hope. I'd rather snuff that out here and now. Give our guys time to get healthy if we were able to win it tonight. I almost tweeted that. I did my pregame tweet, and I was going to say take the time to get healthy, and I was like, I don't want to say that, put it in my tweet, put it in writing just yet. I'd rather wait till we get the win, if we get the win, and go from there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1000%. Will, before you go, I'm getting flamed in the chat by other Eric. Eric with a K says that I look like I'm about to run for president of a cattle ranch with my hat.
Yeehaw, that's
When the Rangers score a goal, do I say yeehaw? You're
Yes.
darn tootin' right, I do.
Oh.
I
Eric doesn't know how to ride a horse.
I love riding horses. I rode a horse like 2 weeks ago. It was an incredible journey.
I saw that.
It was before I got the hat, though. I got the hat like
Yeah.
a couple days ago. But yes, Jimmy, I really am running for president of hockey operations at New York Rangers, and I'm gonna move the team, and we're gonna go to China.
Ooh, okay.
And
We're getting to different countries.
And Will's fired.
Ah, dang. Now I know it's real because you said it on the stream. Man,
I know.
I'm cooked.
For the viewers, it's my favorite joke. Every once in a while, I just send Will a text that I need to talk to him about a serious change in Fireside Ranger. And
it scared me the first time. Now I know. Now I'm like, because if you were gonna fire me, I know it'd be a completely different text.
If there ever comes a time when I actually do have to fire Will, he'll never take it seriously. Like, LOL.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the
LOL. What time we
boy who cried wolf. I'm gonna be like, all right, like, why are you joking with me right now, man? This is what I'm becoming confused.
Oh, Will, speaking of you, by the way,
Yes.
Yesterday, me and Colin recorded an episode in which they included a section that we made formal apologies to Barclay Goodrow.
Okay.
And see, you weaseled your way out of recording yesterday. So I need you on the air, cameras recording, to apologize to Barclay Goodrow.
All right. Wait, I gotta look up his full name first, so it can be like the most formal apology I can do, if it even comes up. I don't know if it will. All right, it doesn't. Barclay Goodrow. I want to take some time out of my day of this live stream to formally apologize for talking about how bad you were in the regular season, which you are. I'm not giving you a pass for that. But these playoffs, you've been a completely different player. It's been awesome. You look like the player that we signed you. We signed to a 6-year, $3.6 million contract. So, you know what? If you play like this in the playoffs, I'm still gonna buy you out. But I will always be grateful for what you did these playoffs. If we reach the ultimate goal, I'm not gonna say.
It was a terrible.
So I do apologize. How was that terrible?
It's not going smoothly.
Hey, at least I apologized to him because I wasn't going to. I actually was going to tell you no.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I do apologize. He's played really well.
He's played really well.
He's very well.
He's tied for third on the team in points so far, 3 points in 3 games. He's played great defensively. We kind of ran through the stats in yesterday's episode, but Will, the craziest stat right now, he's, like I said, he's third on the team in points. In the regular season, he was 19th on the roster. And right now he's a +3, I believe, through 3 games played in the playoffs so far. And in the regular season, he was dead last on the team in plus minus. So just the night and day comparison right there.
Yeah.
It is pretty incredible. We got Negan from The Walking Dead here. Sorry, I forgot. It's not going to work. Rangers must keep their head up tonight. The Capitals. Well, you said the Capitals. I hope that was on purpose. The Capitals know it's over, and they will attempt to injure our guys. Don't forget, Tom Wilson said that he's going for Artemi Panarin.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy that he said that.
That's bring up though, Negan. I mentioned that in my tweet earlier today. This team's going to be desperate, and they're just going to try to do anything, whatever it takes, to keep their season alive for one more day. So you do have to make sure that we're protecting our stars.
Yeah,
the longevity of this team, while also trying to get the win today.
Yeah, I mean, look what happened with the Rangers in 2020 when they were down 3-1 to the Penguins. I mean, obviously we were really desperate. Came out, won 3 straight games. Like, you can't even seeing how bad the Capitals are. in the first 3 games of the series. I mean, they obviously have a lot of glaring weaknesses to their team, but like Colin's been saying, teams get desperate when their backs are against the wall. There's a whole new philosophy in that locker room, and teams. I mean, I don't know if I've seen a hockey team come back down from 3-0, but there's been one in the MLB, and that's the Red Sox against the Yankees in, I think, 2004 or something. But, I mean, teams get desperate, and the Capitals are going to be in desperation mode today, and some crazy stuff might go down. So I hope everyone's prepared for that.
Yeah, it's going to be an entertaining one. I just hate the NHL for making it at 8 o'clock. Like, dude, it's a Sunday. Why aren't we playing right now? Should have been.
Why are the Jets playing right now?
Yeah, why are the Winnipeg Jets and Colorado Avalanche playing right now?
They're 2 hours behind the East Coast. It is
noon.
1:15 there. We should be playing today, right now, and then they can be the next game or something.
And then, even if we don't get the matinee game, even if we don't get the afternoon slate, why is it at 8? It's a Sunday. Like, I got to go to work tomorrow. I
got a hockey game at 10. I'm bringing my phone on the bench. I will be
I don't know why we're starting at 8.
Roller hockey or ice hockey?
Roller.
All right, go out there, buddy. Let's go.
I'm gonna keep an AirPod in so I can hear the game going. But first, I need to.
Please. See ya.
Wait, what did Robert say about Flyers did it in 2010? Did what make the 3-0 comeback?
Yeah. Okay, so I guess I was also 7 years old, but
don't forget in 2014 the LA Kings were down the Sharks 3-0, and they came back.
I need to apologize to Roderick. I'm sorry. I know it's a soft spot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Robert said Kings did it. It was 2014, and it was the year they won because they went on to beat us.
Oh, I do remember.
That's why I don't have like any valid reasoning for it, but that's why I have beef with the San Jose Sharks.
Was that the first round?
It was the first round, and then the Kings won 3 more series after that. Like, really, San Jose? You couldn't win 1 more game?
You couldn't just win 4 games. You're up 3-0.
To be fair, they didn't. They were doing it so that way the lore of future Ranger Jonathan Quick would look that much better.
Oh, that is true. That is true. When Jonathan Quick for somehow, some way ends up playing in Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Finals against the LA Kings and we win,
full circle.
It will all come full circle.
Oh, jeez.
But I don't know if we ever reach a point where Igor Shesterkin is not our starting goaltender this playoffs. I delete the channel.
We did something wrong. Something is wrong. Oh,
that's my threat of the day. Every live stream includes at least one threat from me to delete the channel, and that's today's.
Crazy that you would even threaten to delete the channel, Eric.
I do it every day, Will. Every day. When you make me mad, I go, that's it. I'm going to delete the channel.
One day, you're just going to say, you're going to tell me, you say one thing wrong in a live stream or an episode, I'm deleting the channel. And I'm just not going to talk for an entire episode.
Here we go. If Sam Rosen makes one mistake in the first period today, I will delete the channel. It'll go for every period, but
wow. That's nuts.
Alone, he's doing his best out here. Also,
exactly
with a 3-run shot on his birthday. Happy birthday, Anthony Volpe.
Oh, you were watching the game too? Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was gonna get down in the gap. I didn't think that was gone.
I feel like I'm missing out now because like you guys are watching the Avalanche game and the Yankees game. The only thing on my TV is just Roku City. I did not prepare.
Hey, Roku City's pretty tough. I like Roku City. I would live in Roku City if the price was rent were not high.
It's like we're passing by.
The rent's pretty high there. Let me tell you though.
It's the big Ferris wheel.
Oh wow, what a play! Right, holy crap! Wow.
Sports right now are thriving.
Did you see that?
I did not see that. I was watching the Knicks.
Dude.
Why, Colin, you're watching 3 different games, right? I don't even want to know the logistics of how that's possible.
I'll spin in a second.
What's the score of the Knicks game?
They're up currently on commercial, so I don't know. I've watched things.
I watched game 2.
Here's what I got going behind me. This is the Logic Center. I got 2 games on.
I like that. I like that second monitor right there. See, I'm not up in my room, so I don't have my second monitor, but I could have 4 games on at once if I had my monitor down here.
Usually I got 2 on the vertical one, or because I like the game on the horizontal one, and then I'll put on that one sometimes too.
All right, back to Rangers though. We're getting really distracted today.
That was fun though.
This is definitely a live stream for the history books.
That was fun.
Yeah, I know at some point, where is it? Eric Dane brought up the Philip Hedl thing again. It's hard to say who would sit to make room for Hedl. We've talked about it a few times. I think we're all in agreement. Don't put Philip Hedl in. We've got a good thing going. Don't mess up the chemistry, as well as, for his own health as well.
Like, until there's like a reason that you need to put him into the lineup, I would. Like, you don't want to.
I wouldn't throw him in, just throw him in.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it would be very nice to have Hedl back in the lineup. I mean, he would add a lot, or bring a lot, I guess. But this kid has a future on the Rangers, and I do not want to mess that up for him. So until there is a reason why there's an absolute reason you need to put him into the lineup, that's the only time that happens.
Yeah, there's no reason to take any healthy players out of it's right now a well-oiled machine. Obviously, he's a key cog in this machine, and we missed him dearly when he first went down. And obviously, we wish him the best, and we look forward to what is to come for him, as I think he's on a very, very good deal.
Mm-hmm.
And parts of last season and whatnot. But the team is chugging along right now, and I'm not trying to put him in, putting him in. Obviously, if enough needed, and get him in there, no problem. But I'm not taking anybody out healthy. I like what we have right now.
I fully agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Who would you take out? The only reason Philip Hedl should be in is if someone else goes down with an injury, or like Rempe gets suspended for something stupid, and I don't know. Knock on wood. I think my ultimate jinx, though, because we know I'm a jinx machine. Before the season started, when we had a discussion about should Brennan Hoffman be in the lineup, and I remember very clearly saying, I don't think we're going to see Brennan Hoffman unless we experience an injury. And I went, hopefully that'll never happen, but it's hockey, so I'm sure we'll have at least one guy go down at some point. And then began the season of injuries in which everyone went down.
Yeah, great going, Eric. Nice job. Nice job.
I might have caused that. I definitely might be the reason why Philip Hedl is out of commission.
Dude, what would this lineup look like if Hedl and what about like Blake Wheeler didn't go down? Hedl didn't go down.
Fox was gone at a point.
Yeah, Fox was gone for 10 games. Lindgren, Trouba, Gustafsson. There were a lot.
Go down. Gustafsson would have been out of the lineup way earlier.
Yeah, that's my bad, guys. I apologize.
I think Fox going down was such a blessing for Gustafsson because he was so good during that stretch. It was like, all right, he didn't play his best hockey for a little bit, but he was so good early on, where it was like a blessing in disguise for him. I think he's been good these playoffs for sure, but I think just his play in the latter half of the regular season, had he not had that good start at the beginning, I don't know. Laviolette really seems to like him, so I can't really speak on what would have happened, but I think that he would not be on the roster currently. I think it would have been a Nick.
Gustafsson?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, he stepped in really well when Fox was gone, but obviously you're on the power play. You're playing with Panarin, Zibanejad, Kreider, and Trocheck, so it's going to be a little easier to score points. But I saw something today, someone that's very deep into analytics and knows what he's talking about, said that Gustafsson has looked a lot better these playoffs. I mean, I don't hear his name often, and same with Trouba, and that's a good thing to me. So that's a very good thing to me. So I'm going to take his word for it, but. Yeah, I mean, Gustafsson's looked solid these playoffs, so I don't know. We'd probably see Jones in, though, if he didn't have that first half that he had.
I'm rocking with Zach Jones.
Me too.
Gustafsson hasn't been bad these playoffs, so I can't complain.
No.
We talked a little bit last episode when you were mysteriously busy. I did want to apologize to Goodrow.
Hey, buddy, you listen here. You're going to have to apologize to me in about 5 seconds.
But
all this hate today.
But we talked about it a little bit last episode, and I think that I know we talked about Schneider and Miller, Eric. We talked about how good they are and how they're still so young, and they've been playing like a first-line shutdown pairing. But I think it also, talking about guys like Jones, and I know we have still Robertson in the pipeline and whatnot, and there's Fortescue now. Like, we have some good young defensive prospects to really, help reinforce the barracks here. I think it's just exciting. I think I know me personally, I was not the biggest Jones fan earlier in the season. Out of nowhere, he came and he shut me up real quick. Every stint that he had gotten with the Rangers prior, he just seemed slow and small, undersized, constantly getting beat in front of the net, and he wasn't too confident with the puck. This season, it was like a completely new player. I think, he really took some top-line minutes in Harvard, made the most of it, and it helped gain a lot of confidence with him. He was moving the puck like a seasoned vet. He's winning the battles out in front, and I think he's doing everything right, and I think that we need to continue to see that from him, but I think it's exciting to think that we still have so many young and up-and-coming players while being in this window. Obviously, the offense is going to need some reinforcement soon, and hopefully Perreault and Othman will be able to kind of fill those gaps. But it's just exciting. It's extremely exciting to look at this team and see, what we have now and what's still to come. To think that we actually, for once, have that depth and we're not backfilling with Libor, Hayek, and, some very, very bad players here.
Libor.
And there's also a lot of, some good forward prospects too. Brett Berard, Adam Sikora. They're not going to be top line guys in their NHL career, but they'll be depth players, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I really like Brett Berard too. I've been watching him since 2022 World Juniors, and he plays with an edge, and he had a very good season down in Hartford this year. So I'm very excited to see, what he can do when he comes up to this Ranger lineup as a depth piece, third, fourth line guy. But I'm excited. There's some good prospects that are going to fill. They're not gonna be a top line guy, like I said, but they're gonna fill their roles perfectly as depth players, and that's perfectly fine with me.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that this current Cup window probably only has like 2 or 3 years left in it, which is like because our best players are starting to get old, like Panarin, Kreider, Zibanejad, they're all in their 30s, and so I kind of agree with it. But I think the best part about it is it's bittersweet. Because once this Cup window closes, it's not like we have to go through a full rebuild again. The Cup window will end. There may be like one season, and then just another Cup window should hopefully begin with like Perreault and Othman and everything. So it is kind of hype. Colin, I also just got to explain more of the lore to you about yesterday's episode, getting deep into the Fireside lore. So when Will just mysteriously couldn't record, it was a pretty great text. Thursday at 9:56, out of nowhere, Will just says, "I can't join the live tomorrow." Unprompted.
Okay. To be fair, my boss wanted us to come in and then didn't text us, so I didn't know.
Will's tired of the slander. Had to set the record.
I had to clear it.
I don't believe this is a Fireside murder mystery.
Yesterday was Bingo's birthday too.
All right. Well, you know what? That's valid.
Yeah, me and Kayla took him to the dog park so he could see his friends for a few hours.
He was at the dog park all day.
Hey, dad of the year.
Yeah, and then we came back and made him a nice steak dinner.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
Bingo is the official mascot of Fireside Rangers now that AJ has passed away.
Rest in peace, AJ.
Yeah, let's answer some of these comments. I feel bad. People keep commenting, and we're just yapping over them. All right. Goodbye, Colin.
See you later, Colin.
All right, look at that. We plan for anything. Okay. Sorry, I just got lost because of that. Thanks, Colin. Threw me off. Roderick said, "Wait, people are watching something other than Fireside Rangers?" Okay, look, I'm not doing
There's back.
Hello. You're Colin. Colin, you're Will. There we go. Okay. You know what? It's going to bother me. Okay.
Dang it.
Yeah, back on the bottom.
I like when stuff like that happens because the viewers get to see what it looks like when I change things.
That's my fault. I went to open up the chat and I totally.
Roderick said, "Wait, people are watching something other than Fireside Rangers." Consider this to be today's fan appreciation moment of the stream. Roderick, I'm pretty sure you've attended every single live stream.
Yeah, Roderick's always in here. He's a dog.
You're fan of the day. Congrats, buddy. Joe here. Hey, boys. Joe from Edmonton. huge Rangers fan since 1990. Well, how do you do from Edmonton? What time is it over there? Probably like noon. I'm guessing that's Pacific time, maybe Central.
It's noon. I think it's noon. No,
Yeah.
because they're on the West Coast, pretty sure. So I think it's noon.
Good afternoon to you, Joe. Happy that you're here. He also goes on to say, Rangers need to put the nail in the coffin tonight. Don't give the Capitals no life. I agree. I think at this point, the series, again, knock on wood, is ours. But again, I would like as much rest as possible. Last stream we discussed, is too much rest going to hurt the team? But honestly, at the end of the day, like, I'm happy the Islanders won last night, just because that means that the Hurricanes have to play another game and they'll be slightly more tired moving forward. I don't care who wins that series. I don't like either team, but the longer it goes, the better, in my opinion. For us, I would surely enjoy if we were to close it out in 4.
I almost went to that game.
My friend's there. He went to game 3 and 4.
It was like
$40.
Dude, yeah, the tickets are cheap, dude. They're like this morning they were like $147 with fees.
It was literally, my friend told me, because I looked, it was like $60, and he said if I used the code, it would knock it down to like 40. I was like, oh, I might, and that's why I almost didn't record, Rick. Obviously, I was napping because I had an early flight yesterday, but then I was going to go to the game. Obviously, I ended up not going just because I don't really care about either of those teams. I didn't want to go out to UBS alone. But I definitely looked into it, and I almost went to DC today for the game. And again, I couldn't find anybody to do that drive with me. 5.5 hours.
I could have started driving up, and we could have met in the middle there.
And I could have gone too. I'm only 2 hours from DC.
Well, this guy, you weren't here when I was talking about it yesterday.
All right, to be fair, I was gonna go to the game today, but if it wasn't at 8, but since it's at 8, and I'd have to drive back to school, I'm like, I'm not.
That was my exact thought process, because I got work tomorrow.
I
did not want to come back from DC. It's like a 5.5 hour drive. So the game started at 8, probably ends at like 10:30 by the time I get out of DC. It's like,
yeah. I think from me to DC, it's like 13 hours. I have made the drive in one sitting before. I've driven from Florida to New Jersey in one sitting. Probably could have made it all the way back home, but I was tired.
Me and my family always drive 14 hours from Maine every summer. I mean, I've driven up to Long Island. It's like 7 hours, I think, from home, and I just drive that straight through.
Yeah, so I mean, I won't be able to make it to DC tonight. Just logistically, I don't have enough time. I could theoretically hop on a flight.
I did look at flights too. Flights into DC are so.
All right, this is what I could do. I know my mother is she's visiting me right now in Florida. She's flying back to Long Island today, but she does have a layover in Baltimore. I could just hop on that.
Ooh, then you could just take a train back down.
Yeah, God, this plan is in motion right now.
For those keeping track at home, I'm 2 beers deep.
Oh, I've been keeping track in the live chat, dude. Don't worry.
I moved up to PBR. They're way worse, and I'm not going to enjoy them for a second. I found them in the basement.
All right, Dahmer.
After that, I got Happy Dads. They're little.
Oh, that's what I'm sipping on. Black cherry Happy Dads.
I do not like Happy Dads at all.
Have you tried the grape ones?
No, that's actually my least favorite flavor of anything.
What? That's my favorite flavor. I love the grape ones.
Grape? Grape is always the worst flavor of everything.
Right? No, it's actually good. It's actually so good. Trust me.
Pineapple and 2 watermelon.
You have what?
I have 1 pineapple and 2 watermelon.
As long as you have enough to hit the over. Well, a lot of us bet for everyone that's joining us late at the beginning of the live stream, we did start a bet over under 5 beers consumed by Colin in the hour that we're recording. It is 3:33. I don't know when we're going to end. Typically, these
more questions we get. If you want to see me hit the over, we're going to need more questions in the chat here.
That's true.
So make sure we drop those questions down below so that way you can give me a little bit more time.
Typically, these streams last around an hour. So we on a normal day, we would be over the halfway mark right now. But if the stream's popping off, we'll keep going. So make sure you keep this alive. I don't know what the prize is. Whoever correctly predicts the over or the under, they get a special shout out. I'll read your name, even though I read everyone's names. Let's see. Joe said, I love how Lafreniere is playing for Laviolette because Laviolette has trust in his players. Lafreniere is incredible. I love him. I know we brought it up at some point recently where Vincent Trocheck spoke about how he and Panarin asked Gerard Gallant to put them on a line with Lafreniere because they really liked what the kid has and what he's able to do. And Gallant said no because he wanted to keep the kid line together. Fireable offense, in my opinion.
That's
but
actually so crazy that he said that.
Shout out Laviolette for putting them together. Like, I don't like
Laviolette too was Drury said you're gonna have to put the kids out. Gallant was very against it. He was a very strict coach when it came to creativity and fun. And so, you didn't see a lot of those flashy moves from players like you've seen from Panarin this season, where they're kind of gone out and played with a little more heart and a little more, like a little more balls. They just go out there and they try these crazier things. And we're not used to seeing that never would have flown under a Gallant-led team. But I think also when he was hired, I think Drury was like, hey, you're putting 2 of the 3 kids in the top 6. That's like a non-negotiable. Which is why I think you saw all 3 of them started in the top 6.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, injuries and other things have led to some switches. But, with the way Trocheck was playing, and obviously Hedl was out, and Kakko wasn't working on that first line just yet. I still got hope for Kakko. What's your guys' take on that? I still think he's going to be more than a serviceable player. I think that he will step into that role. Every time they say it, I forget how freaking young he is.
He's young. What is he, 22?
Yeah, he's younger than me.
He's younger.
He's younger than all of us besides Will, because Will's a little baby.
All right, come on. You didn't have to do it like that. You didn't have to do me like that. Come on.
Will, I do got to shout you out, though. You were right, and I was wrong. Before the stream started, when we weren't going to wear our jerseys because it's like really hot in the world right now. And then I was like, but we've worn them for every other live stream. We can't jinx it. And now I'm sweating.
It's hot, dude. I'm not sweating in mine because my air's on, but it's hot.
I've cornered myself here because my air is also on. It's at 73 right now because throughout the playoffs I've just kept it at 73 for Matt Rempe. That's how superstitious I am, and I really want to lower it. But I can't.
That's hot, dude. That's hot.
I can't touch it.
That's crazy. Do you sleep in that too?
No, I put it down.
Good. I was gonna say you're crazy. Actually, crazy if you sleep in 73-degree weather. 73 degree.
A 93 for Mika Zibanejad. Get him going.
I'm gonna raise the temperature to 93 in my house, guys. I'll tell you how it goes.
A big
I'm gonna sleep.
James asked, "Do you think the Rangers re-sign Lindgren?" Yes, there's not a doubt in my mind that they will, as long as they're able to have the money. I know this season and next season, the Rangers have a lot of free agents coming up. I know Igor, Lafreniere, Kakko, Lindgren, all free agents within the next 2 years, and there's more as well. So they'll make it a priority, of course, I believe, but it's just a matter of getting it done and like the negotiation part.
Depends on how many years it is too. I don't know if I'd sign him to 5 years.
I love Lindgren.
The way that he plays with such an edge and is hard on his sleeve. He's always out there blocking shots, taking hits. Obviously, I'd love to see him not get rocked as much as he has this season. He's definitely put himself in some vulnerable positions for the sake of the team. But he's just, you want to talk about a grit and sandpaper player. I think he's as good as it gets. I think, as I said before, he's just the heart and soul of this defense and the defensive core. Loves having a guy like him around. Not to mention, he also has a talk show with the Rangers where he goes around the play. I think that he's just like such a bubbly personality for that defense, and they need him. And I think that's and obviously he's just a very good defensive player. He allows Adam Fox to do what he does. I know Eric's going to hate this because he hates Mark Stahl, but Mark and Dan Girardi are my comparison for these two because Mark Stahl was a sit-at-home guy who allowed Dan Girardi to go and be the offensive defenseman that he was. Obviously, some injuries changed their roles down the line, and some pucks to the faces and things like that. But I think that with every offensive demon, you need to have a defensive catalyst, similar to like Devon Tays and Cal McCarr. Tays is that stay-at-home guy who also still contributes offensively, but it allows McCarr to act like a forward at times. And I think that when you have a guy who is as offensively gifted as Adam Fox, you need somebody who's going to anchor that line with him. Did you just go and get what I think you got? There it is.
Mark Stahl puck.
That's crazy.
Were you on the live stream when I showed it at the first time?
Me? Colin.
Yeah, the other Colin.
I didn't hear you if you said Colin or I didn't know. You just said.
I think
I see it.
I knew that. I figured when I brought him up, that's what you were going to get.
It's the greatest and the worst present I've ever received in my life because I hate Mark Stahl and I really want to throw it away, but I can't because Colin bought it for me.
Friend Alex, we had the bright idea to go and get Eric a signed Mark Stahl puck, just because of how much he loves Mark Stahl.
Oh, he's the
Next
goat.
time you're gonna have to get. There's another player that I think you're gonna have to get him assigned.
That one will be thrown away.
No, it will not. No, it won't. That's the next player. He who shall not be
named.
Can't
you just have a happy moment? Get me a Panarin puck or something.
Because that's too expensive. Sorry, Eric.
That's true. I'm sure the Mark Stahl one did not come with a hefty price tag.
That's such a great gift, though. Just finding like cheap signed pucks. I'd honestly do that. Screw it.
If you really want to get something crazy, get a cameo from Ryan Strome of him.
Oh my god,
doing the Fireside Rangers intro and the intro for every single
I don't know
episode.
if you guys can see it.
I can't.
Ryan Strome signed pucks.
How much is it?
I got a couple here. There's a slightly used one on eBay for $20 with a case.
Well, here's the thing: none of you know my address, and that's not going to change.
But I do know your home address, and I'm good friends with your mother.
There you go. See, you got you beat right there. Next time you go home.
Eventually, I'm coming down to visit.
I'll never go home.
But also, you could send it to his mom, and then his mom can just ship it down to him. There you go.
That's true.
Did you think about that, Eric? No.
This is the problem: is that Colin's been over my house way too many times, and he does know exactly where to go.
I'm gonna come down to visit at some point. And you're not gonna have me sleep on the streets, would you?
At this point, if there's a Ryan Strome signed puck involved, it might come down to it. I'll meet you out on the town, and then
the friendship might be over if it happens.
I'll secretly go home. Okay, here we go. Roderick said that his wife laughed her head off from our appreciation. Good. Glad we made something good happen. Marley says that they're not worried. They have faith that they'll close it out tonight. I am too. So we just got a lot of comments.
Me too.
The Hartford Wolfpack have their playoff game against the Charlotte Checkers tonight. That's the Hurricanes AHL affiliate. That's
go Hartford.
Yep, go Hartford. Go Brennan.
No. Charlotte Checkers is the Panthers now, I think.
Did it change?
Yeah, because I don't think the Kings don't have an AHL team anymore. I don't think, or at this moment in time, I don't think they do.
Louis Domingue game-winning goal incoming. Bring us to on the season.
I know you guys saw Igor try and go for that empty net on Friday.
Oh yeah, we talked about it yesterday. About how
I was going crazy, dude. I thought
parlay almost came true.
I know. That is crazy. I can't believe that.
Yeah. Pretty incredible. Someone in the chat let us know who Charlotte Checkers affiliate is, because I know it used to be.
Roderick just said it. Panthers. You're welcome.
It is the Panthers. Okay.
Elite hockey knowledge.
Thank you, Roderick. I guess it changed. I don't really keep up with the AHL that much. Like, I follow our prospects, but other than that,
it changed this summer because I don't know why. I guess the Hurricanes just didn't re-sign their agreement with them or something, and I think I don't know where. I think the Hurricanes players in the AHL play for the Syracuse Crunch, which is the AHL affiliate for the Lightning.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of stuff that just it was 2 years ago. A whole bunch of stuff that just happened.
Yeah, Roderick, we're lost, dude.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about the AHL. I know Hartford. That's about it.
Crazy enough, Magnus Hellberg. That name rings any bells?
Wow.
That's a name I haven't heard in many, many years.
The starting goalie tonight for the Charlotte Checkers.
Wow.
Which is crazy because he did play a couple games for the Rangers in past seasons and was on the Wolfpack. And crazy enough as well, I was doing a little bit of research here, just Googled, quick Google search. And Spencer Knight won the Sportsmanship Award for the Checkers, but I forgot that he was down HL.
Yeah.
Why do I know that name? Who is that?
That's a goaltender. He was a goaltender for the Panthers.
Yeah. For the Panthers.
Yeah.
He went into the Players Association last year for I think his OCD, and the Panthers obviously didn't want to just throw him into the fire, so he's down in the AHL. Good for him, though. I know he's playing pretty well down there.
Good
I
call.
like Knight. I thought he was good for them last
He was
year.
good.
Crazy.
Except for the fact that I forgot about him. But
Yeah.
it's a name that I've heard.
He shut out Canada in the 2021 World Juniors
Mhm.
Championship gold medal game. Fun fact.
Let's see what we got here. We got a lot of comments to go through. Joe, hey boys, not sure if you heard, but rumor is Draisaitl. If Draisaitl wasn't an Oiler, he'd love to be a Ranger. That's one of those things that, like, low key in a few years, I could totally see happening. If the Rangers magically open up a lot of cap space and he becomes a free agent, I could see him signing with the Rangers. It's something that I've thought about a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
Like, McDavid is never going to leave Edmonton, but Draisaitl, if Edmonton doesn't start winning championships, I would not be shocked if he just walks. And like you said, he would love to be a New York Ranger. I think that is true because I've heard that before too. Would be awesome. I'd be very happy about it.
Depends on how much you. I mean, he's gonna want a lot of money, man.
That is
there's
true.
so many young play like Othman, Perot's coming up. Like, there's just a lot of young players coming up. That's like, why would you want to?
The way that he plays and the points that he puts up, I don't know. Some of it is obviously playing with McDavid, but I think he drives offense so well on his own that he basically represents two players the way that he plays in terms of point production. It's insane. There's only a couple players in the league right now that I can say in terms of what they bring to a team. It's the equivalent of having basically two guys out there. And it's like your ultimate superstars. It's your McKinnons. It's your Kucherovs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think he falls under that category of a player who brings in the production of two as well.
Yeah.
I didn't even read the other two comments that Joe said yet, but yeah, we just pretty much quoted everything he said. Lots of talk in Edmonton about Draisaitl leaving after his contract in New York is on his list. McDavid will remain an Oiler, and Katz is open to giving McDavid $15 to $20 million a year. It's a lot to have him retire an Oiler. So our elaboration was just reiterating what you said, Joe. Good take. Shout out you from Edmonton there. Roger says, I'd go to the game tonight in DC if I could, but I don't want to get mugged or worse. I do have a very good friend of mine that lives in Washington, D.C. I'll just fund a ticket for him and then have him FaceTime me, and I'll be there in spirit.
There you go. That's perfect. I think that's great.
Yeah.
In D.C., he's a cop, so he would give me the special what is it when you get the caravan of cop cars? You know what I'm talking about? I forgot what it is.
The police escort.
Yeah, he gave me the police escort right to the rink.
Wow.
That's funny. That guy asks, will Rempe knock a Capitals head off tonight? Who will he fight? I don't think he's going to.
It's his last chance. I'd love to see him beat the brakes.
It is. That is fair. It is game 4. I know the Capitals are going to ramp up the intensity. They're going to be desperate. But at the same time, shout out Matt Rempe. He's been very mature, very smart this series. They keep trying to get him to bite, and he never takes the bait. Which is, I love to see it. We were nervous about it heading into the series, but he's been phenomenal. The only thing is just not even his fault. He just keeps getting penalized for stuff that shouldn't be penalties. So
I think give a hand to Laviolette there. I know obviously it was a big talking point, his maturity level, obviously him being so young and playing his first games not even a half season ago. But his discipline and everything like that. And I think that Laviolette has done a good job coaching him up, because I think that when he came up, obviously, as we could tell from his first few games, his sole purpose was just to be an absolute bruiser. And I think Laviolette kind of was like, settle down here, kid. If you want to have a life in this league, you can't just go getting knocked in the face while also simultaneously knocking somebody in the face. You got to one, you have to defend yourself in fights, and two, you don't have to fight every time you go out there. And I think we've seen that a couple times where he gets challenged, he doesn't take the bait because we're up. There's no need to give them any spark like that. And I think it takes a level of maturity and growth, I think, that we've already seen exponentially from him as season's gone on, which is just it's a welcome thought, and I'm happy that he's kind of opened his eyes to it, just because I like Matt Rempe. I think I love his size, I love his speed, I love what he brings to the bottom six. So I'm hoping that he sticks around. And everybody was saying this kid's going to be out of the league in 2 years with CTE if he doesn't smarten up. And I think that he definitely has, smartened up a little bit. And that's why we continue to see him in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, look at he turned down Wilson last game. I think it was game one. Game one he turned down McElrath. I feel like he knows that he knows what he wants, and he knows he wants to stay in the lineup. And if he wants to do that, then you have to ignore when people are trying to drop the gloves with you. But I think he's done a really good job. I'm happy with his play so far, and I think I agree with Colin where I think he brings something to the lineup. I mean, he said it. He has the juice. I love that. So, yeah, I just don't think that he's going to do anything tonight, though. I think he knows
agree.
I don't know. I think he knows what's at stake. You don't want to give the Capitals momentum coming back in the series. Obviously, even if it's just 3-1, they win today. It's 3-1, but you don't want to give them any momentum. You got to keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Anytime we say a player's not going to do something, they go out there.
They always do it. They always do it.
Gordie Howe hat trick incoming.
Panarin's not going to score tonight. Capo Caco won't have a goal tonight. Barclay Goodrow won't score again. Igor won't have a shutout. There we go. We're all set. All right. Did I miss anything?
Finally.
Rempe won't take a penalty.
The Rangers won't take 100 million penalties.
There we go. We won.
I feel like part of it and the way that it's been officiated is like the Rangers have just been, I don't want to say downright dominant, but they've kind of controlled the series very well.
Yeah.
I think that they're more likely to give calls to the Caps in terms of like calling us, just because they need it a little bit more. I feel like they're kind of looking for reasons to call us as opposed to something willing to let it go. Like I feel like in the closer series, you're seeing teams fight it out. The whistles are more in the pockets, whereas this one, the Caps have definitely. I mean, we've gotten our fair share of calls too, so I'm not going to say like there's been games where we've gotten 6 penalties, but like some of them are. It's like you can't not call them, but like in the ones close and maybe you can get a call, maybe they can get away with it. They've kind of pocketed it when it comes to giving us the call.
Yeah.
And when it's in terms of giving them the call. So I think that's definitely something to keep an eye out for. Obviously, when it comes to the officiating, it's just like I'd like to see them call it consistently all series. But I just think that in terms like the Capitals are just so down bad for anything.
Mm-hmm.
The refs are a little bit more willing to help them out.
Yeah, I mean
that's a good analysis.
I've seen both fans of both teams saying that it's such a. The refs just either need to call everything or just take their whistle out of their mouth and put it in their pockets because they're calling a lot, and they've had their hand in this series for the whole series. They've had their hand in it. It's like you either don't do that and let them play or call everything, because there have been some times where they're missing it's pretty obvious that there's a trip, like game one, Zibanejad. So either call everything or just take your hand out of the series, and I'd be happy.
Yeah, no, they have been consistently inconsistent. I will say that.
Yeah.
It's the Chris Kreider line. That's how he does it.
That is very true. Shout out
I'm gonna put the puck away. Just keep talking.
Shout out to any Knicks fans out there. Knicks just won. They're up 3-1.
Crap.
So
1 second.
crap. Now we just need the Yankees and the Rangers to win. New York parlay heads tonight.
You had a Knicks Rangers parlay?
And Knicks Rangers Yankees. My New York parlay. Heart of New York.
Yeah, well the Yankees. I mean that fifth inning was terrible. I don't know if you were watching it, but it was bad.
I'm watching.
It was bad.
I haven't watched it.
That was horrible. Like that was terrible.
Well, no, that was my main concern up until now. I can as much as I like the Yankees, my next major concern is the Rangers. It goes Rangers, Knicks, Yankees can gain their 120 more games.
I mean, you said it, Roderick, not me.
What do you say? I missed it.
I had that. I'll mess up the graphics to show that. That was funny. Good job, Roderick. You made me laugh.
That was funny.
That was good. Good.
You said it, not me, so I can.
Yeah, we didn't.
You said it though. I think the Rangers win.
Don't say that.
And
we're not allowed to say anything on this.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. I take it back. I didn't finish it, so it's fine. We're good. It's not going to happen. I knocked on wood. We're good. We are good.
All right.
Not saying
Is
anything.
that number 4, your bet, correct?
Oh, it's crap.
But that's number 4.
Yeah.
Good.
We have 6 minutes.
I was gonna text you privately because I'm definitely colluding. I'm like the commissioner of this bet, but I'm also I also have money on it. So I start.
You are the bookie.
I'm the bookie, but I'm also betting. It's completely rigged.
That's crazy. You're a horrible bookie. I would never place a bet with you.
I also haven't been keeping track of who said what. I think one person said something at the very, very beginning.
I think one person said over, and that was it. No one else.
It was Roderick. Roderick said over.
It was Roderick.
Roderick's always here. Ride or die. He's sitting in here waiting for the stream to start. Committed fan, and he's ready for the. He knows how much I do enjoy a good beer. I'm doing my best to prove Roderick right. I'm hurting. PBRs are so bad, and I don't feel like he isn't getting the good stuff.
Pavel's here too. Pavel's another fan of the day because he's always here.
Yeah.
Awesome. Joe said, "Hey boys." Actually, hold on. I skipped a couple. Joe, I'll get there in a second. NYR for Life said, happy that the Islanders extended the series against the Canes. If the Rangers can close it out tonight, I hope the Canes and Islanders beat each other up in a grueling 7-game series. 1,000% agree. I know we talked about that a little bit earlier. Probably commented that when we were talking about it because we're going really slow with the comments. Really just dragging this one out.
Right.
Yeah, we really have. But it's been fun. It's been a fun one.
No, we could keep going. I know we're almost at the hour, but I'm in no rush to end this.
People want to hang out with us, I'm down to stick around.
Yeah, man, we're all just hanging out. Like I said, I'm not busy until like 6:30, so I'll say like I don't want to go to 6:30 to be real with you.
As long as the girlfriend's happy, then I'm happy. Yeah. She's probably happy that I'm not bugging her right now.
I'm looking at a phenomenal plate of chicken marsala just sitting.
Oh, dude, come on, don't.
That's what I'm doing when the stream ends.
I made chicken nuggets before.
Nice. I already had one plate.
I had a chicken salad sandwich before.
I've eaten during the streams.
That's true, but then I got to get up. I don't care.
Remember I had the chicken airlifted to me?
Wait, what?
I just started mowing on Chick-fil-A in this very seat.
Oh, I could go for some Chick-fil-A right now.
Yeah. I don't like Chick-fil-A. It's my hottest steak.
I had Chick-fil-A yesterday. That's right. I forgot.
It's also Sunday, Will.
I know. Don't worry.
Okay, Joe, I apologize. I was about to read your comment, and then the beers are hitting Colin. We're getting sidetracked.
Oh my God, Roderick just owned his wife.
I'll look at what it says in a second. Joe said, "Hey boys, I'm not liking Wenberg's play. What do you think? Sorry that we're answering it 21 minutes later, but here we are. I don't think he's done anything phenomenal, but at the end of the day, I don't think he's done anything bad either. The third line as a whole is a solid defensive unit. Yeah. And I think the same thing could be said for all three of them, Wenberg, Cooley, Kakko. None of them really stand out to me as top performers, but none of them have hurt the team either. They're doing what they need to do, and as long as that continues, I'd be more than happy.
I'm in agreement with that. Oh, sorry, Colin. I just completely cut you off.
Go for it. You're up, boss.
I 100% agree with you, Eric. Like they're not doing anything that's hurting detrimentally that's hurting the team. They're doing a lot more. They're doing a lot more good than bad. So I like Wenberg. I think he's been Colorado just took the lead. I've liked Wenberg. I thought he's been fine this series. So is he on Cooley. So is Kakko. So I can't complain about them. I really can't.
Dude, Will, you were not joking. Roger, you just absolutely flamed your wife.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was crazy. No, I've liked their game though, but Colin, I'll let you talk because I cut you off.
I think the only thing that needs to be done with that third line is obviously, I've liked for a couple more times, but I think Cooley needs to do his best to stay out of the penalty box. As we said, they're calling for the game. I think he has taken a couple penalties.
Well, you take 2 last game, I think, or 1?
Yeah. Oh, no, it's every time
2.
I feel like he's in the penalty box. And they're not hunting him down like they are Rempe. So, I'd love to see him stay out of the box a little bit. Obviously, special teams has been so big for this team all year long, but specifically in these playoffs. Get down, Trevi. There we go.
Yep.
But, the shorthanded units, the power play units, the penalty kill, it's all been really good, but I don't want to waste it all on the goddamn Capitals.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I
it's not that's
have some juice down the line. I don't want to have play so much time shorthanded. So and it also takes a little bit of stress off my ticker here. Every time a team's on the power play, I can't help but get the worst feeling. This penalty kill. I mean, this is the first time in a long time I feel like our game as a whole. I mean, obviously our 5-on-5 could be better, but it hasn't been bad.
no, not at all.
What's the Winnipeg game on HBO?
TNT. But if you have HBO Max, you can watch it. Our penalty kill is 12 for 14 this so far this series.
I mean,
knock on wood, but
there was a statistic they showed that the Capitals power play up to a point. I mean, it was.
I think it was after the All-Star game. It was the best in the NHL.
Well, I know that, but I was going to say the one that I was talking about was against the Rangers. They were 0-22 regular season and playoffs. Then they scored. I think it was Ryan Strome scored a power play goal. It was like the first of 2 power play goals scored this series.
Oh, yeah, they scored 2, yeah.
0 for 22 prior to that.
Yeah. So what are they?
The last time we played them in the playoffs. So, I think that probably plays a part in it.
So right now they're 34 for 36 against the Capitals power play this year.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful stat.
I'm thinking, I think it's that. Yeah, because they're 12 for 14 right now. 12 for 14. I'm sorry to cut you off again, Colin, but yeah, the penalty kill has been awesome this series, but
also this season.
Yeah, this season as a whole too. Yeah, I mean, they had a rough stretch when the Rangers were having a rough stretch in late December and throughout January, but they're doing everything they're doing everything. They're keeping the Capitals to the perimeter on the power play, which is awesome. They're not letting they're shading over to well, they have one guy covering Ovi, which he only has 5 shots on goal this playoff series. But I just hope next series, if they're going to play Carolina, they have to stay out of the penalty box because Carolina's power play obviously is a lot better. And also, like you said, Colin, you don't want to waste your juice on the Capitals because obviously you have you have another series coming up after this. If everything goes to plan, I'm sorry. I might have.
You always got to throw that in.
I'm sorry. I'm also superstitious like you, Eric.
I'm incredibly superstitious. I'm not even the superstition. I just do it for like my own personal safety because the fans like to yell at me in the comments a lot.
We talked a lot about what Drury has done in terms of bringing in these players and these role players, such as like a lot of the bottom 6. Obviously, Wemberg's been big on the line, and bargain hunting this offseason quick and whatnot. Bring the decision to call up Cooley and let him take a full season and all that. But I think some of the biggest additions that really go untalked about a lot are these assistant coaches, and that isn't as much Drury as it is Laviolette. And coaches that he wants, every time a coach comes in, they kind of get to handpick the coaches they want around them. And I think that the unit he brought in has been fantastic in every factor.
Yeah.
Obviously, when it comes to the goalie coach, we have the best in the league. That's a no-brainer. Not going anywhere, hopefully, for a long time. But, the power play coach has been very good. I love the addition of Michael Pekka for the I believe he's on the penalty kill. Is he not, or is he power play? Will's just nodding. So we'll take
they've been awesome this year, and I was a little nervous coming when we hired Laviolette for to see what his assistant coaches were going to be, who was going to be with him behind the bench, and McCarr just scored to make it 3-1 actually. So
I'm behind.
That just happened.
I've got the game on now. I saw that.
I think there was one coach, assistant coach that he's had with since it might have been it's either the Flyers or the Predators. I can't remember his name, but it was a lot of people thought that he was going to bring him, but he brought 3 completely different guys. Phil Housley, obviously Hall of Fame defenseman. Dan Muse, who's worked with I think it was the USA National Development Program, and then Michael Pekka, who was with the Amherst. I think it was either with the Amherst or the Sabres, but they've done an awesome job. And I think it was with the Amherst, and he's been awesome, and they've all been awesome. And you can really see that the guys are buying into their, not just Laviolette's system, but their system as well. And I know they always talk. John Giannone during the regular season, he would always talk to Dan Muse during intermissions, and that was really nice. That was really cool to see their insights and everything. But this coaching staff has been awesome for the Rangers, and obviously, Benoit Allaire, I'm not gonna forget him. He's awesome. But yeah, the 3 new guys have been great for this team, and they're really buying into their system.
Well, it takes an army when you're looking at when it comes to like building a Stanley Cup roster and a team. It's not just the players, but it comes down to the coaching as well. And I think that the Rangers this season have just been extremely blessed. I'm worried because every time I've learned this in football, anytime you have a good assistant coach, they're the next in line for which is why I'm very happy that the Sabres went and did the craziest of things in hiring Lindy Ruff, as opposed to getting a guy like Michael Pekka or Phil Housley or anything like that.
I think Phil Housley was their head coach at one point after Ruff.
Some of these guys have been head coach.
Yeah.
Hey. Let's not forget that David Quinn is back on the market.
He is.
Very true.
There you go.
Look at a guy like Chris Knobloch, up and coming coach, one of the brightest minds in hockey, in my opinion. I loved what he did with the Wolfpack. He led them to some very good seasons. He had some with the Rangers when COVID was happening, and he led them route. And now look at what he's doing with the Oilers. They went from a team that was considered out pretty early. They lost a lot of games early on to putting together a powerhouse team. They won a lot of games. I think the third longest win streak or second longest win streak in NHL history?
Yeah. I think it was, what was it, 16 or 17 games, maybe 18?
Crazy.
Yeah, it was long. They played well. They were playing well.
You look at these guys, these up-and-coming coaches that are doing so well in the league, and you see a lot of them on the Rangers bench right now. A lot of bright minds on this bench, and so you hope that obviously a lot of them want to stick around and help us win a couple here. But it's always a concern when you got good coaching that they're going to go elsewhere. So we're very blessed to have the coaches that we have now.
I remember over summer, back when the channel was just me and Anthony, and we did a lot of the coverage of who's going to replace Gallant. And I think we both narrowed it down. Like our top 2 favorites were Laviolette and Knobloch. I would have been happy with either hiring. Obviously, hindsight is 2020. Laviolette was the clear and obvious best answer. But Knobloch wouldn't have been a bad hire, in my opinion.
No,
like
not at all.
what he's done for Edmonton, pretty incredible. Hey, let's just fly through some of these really quick because I do feel bad for the people that comment and then we take half an hour.
And then we just don't even answer.
We're talking about a lot of good things, a lot of different things here.
I know.
Off on these tangents. It's all Rangers most of the time. It's been Rangers related.
Every once in a while, we transition to Yankees or the Avalanche.
Actually, Yankees are up.
Scoring chance.
They're up 11-4.
Yeah, go Yankees. Okay, let's see. Joe said, "I love the show. You guys are on point with your topics." Thank you, Joe. Appreciate the support. I'm not sure if you're new or not. I feel like the name does sound familiar, but good job, Colin. But if you are new, make sure you like and subscribe. I'd love to keep having you come around to these live streams.
Parts of the job here is getting to talk to everybody. I look forward to the streams. I missed it so much when I was in tax season. I was doing all the tax fraud and whatnot. But I miss talking with everybody. I would obviously do my best to comment on the videos when I could, and just the fan interaction is the best. So we love when you guys come around. So please keep coming and get your friends, get everybody, because we love interacting with you guys.
Chris, he always comments on my Twitter, and it's awesome. He always says that he tries to tune in as much as he can. He tries to watch as many videos as he can, and I think that's awesome. It was like, I think he was the first person that ever commented that in my comment section on Twitter. I was like, holy crap, that's just crazy that we're reaching.
It really is the best. It does make the job so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Of the Rangers, but getting to talk with you guys, see what everybody else is thinking. I'm starting to get more active on Twitter now that I've been more free. So feel free to give me a follow there. But I just love seeing the comments, and anytime anybody's like, I agree, but this, I love having the discourses with everybody. It's just great to see how everybody's thinking and what's on everybody's mind. So.
Yeah. And hey, look, at the end of the day, we're all one Fireside family. Sure, we're the 3 hosts plus Anthony and sometimes Dylan. But the fans, I don't know if you know this, but you guys do spark a lot of our content ideas. I have a lot of fans that DM me on Instagram like asking questions and like my opinion on things. And if it's a good idea, I just go and I take it, and then we make a whole episode about it. So you guys are a big part of this. We're not here just because we like yapping. We're here because we like to interact with y'all.
Yapping.
So thank you, Joe. Thank you to everyone that's here and everyone that has been a part of this wonderful journey so far. We ain't stopping.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't leaving.
Only up from here.
I'm not leaving.
I can't curse because it's a family-friendly channel, but you know the scene from The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes,
that's the vibes that we're on. Roderick says he keeps an eye on the AHL as much as he can. There's a local guy, currently a goalie on Calgary's AHL team that he went to high school with and college with. That's really cool. Wow. That's a pretty cool connection. You know what, Roderick, if you can get in touch with him, if he wants to come guest star on the show, that'd be pretty cool to have a player. I feel like you've brought that up before. This isn't the first time someone has commented that they know someone in the world of professional hockey. It might have been you. Don't remember for sure, though. Here's a good question from Joe. He says, who's the greatest Ranger ever? I'm like, a really big part of me wants to say Henrik Lundqvist. I'm dying to say Lundqvist. But he didn't win a Stanley Cup. So, like...
Oh, come on. You can't measure a career based on cups. I think that's the most unfair argument of all.
It is unfair. And I'm probably still going to go Lundqvist, but, like, there's always Messier. There's Brian Leach. Leach is probably a valid answer. We've had a lot of greats throughout the years, but no, you're right. Growing up, watching Hank, that's New York. I got to go Henrik Lundqvist.
That's what I was gonna say too. Like, I think obviously wasn't able to watch Leach and Messier and even Rod Gilbert, Camille Henry, and all those guys. So I was able to watch Henrik Lundqvist though. So in my personal opinion, I'd say it's Henrik Lundqvist.
I'll say I'm probably gonna go Messier. I never got to see him play, but something about a guarantee in a playoff series, just saying, hey, we're gonna win this game, we're going on. And just what he was able to do. He came in a very emotional time. Obviously, the picture of him in the fireman's helmet after 9/11 is just something that will stick with you forever. Mm-hmm. So, I think that what he did for New York sports as a whole, but especially for the Rangers, just as like a galvanizing force. I think that when it comes to like all-time Rangers and what they did for the franchise, because like we're talking all-time greats that have ever played for the Rangers, it's Gretzky, obviously, it's a no-brainer. But like what they did when wearing a Rangers jersey, for me, it's Messier. I think that he just embodied everything when I think of the captain, he is the captain. You know what I mean? So for me, that's my take. I have my Messier jersey in the closet, but when I think of the best Ranger of all time, at least that I've heard of or seen the highlights, for me, it's him.
Sorry, 1 second. You're Will for a few minutes. You had to go to the bathroom. I'm changing my answer to Vinny Lettieri. Truly did wonders for this franchise. Vitaly Kravtsov too, got to be up there in the discussion. Dylan McElrath, man.
Yeah, true.
Tanner Glass. There's a lot of greats.
Lias Anderson,
that's a good one. Mark Stahl, Reinstrom, the two big ones right there.
He actually did some good.
Emerson Edom. Who else, man?
Dan Carcella, big one.
Oh, Eric Stahl in his brief time with the Rangers.
Keith Yandel.
I actually like Keith Yandel.
Really?
I did enjoy Keith Yandel, mainly because he had a part in the step-on OT Game 7 goal.
Drive, save, rebound, score. Because he was the one that got it. Yandel got the rebound and passed it over to
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I was so excited when we got Yandel. I was even more excited when we got Stahl. Funny enough, like as excited as I was for those years and the big acquisitions that we made, I am way more excited right now. And we didn't go out there and get, the big fish on the market. Like Yandel was like a big name. Stahl was a big name. You look at these guys that we've acquired over the years, Kane, Tarasenko. But the acquisitions that we made, I think you look at the teams that win, I know I've said this before, but you look at the teams that win, and typically it's a team that gets like a middle six forward, bottom six forward, and usually it's a defenseman. We got Ruedel, but he isn't playing. Love him, though. I love what he brings to this team when he does play. I think he's a great depth guy. But we got the middle six forward, and I think Roslovic also has been really good and been kind of that speed demon on the first line. Oh, there's the Avalanche again. But
I had them winning this series in my bracket. Like, I knew the Jets would be frauds.
I don't know. I was kind of hoping the Jets would take care of business just because.
I was hoping they would, but unfortunately, my genius is not a blessing. It is a curse. So,
here's a question for everybody who's still here, who's hanging around and looking for the over here while I slowly get to work.
Yeah, we're in live stream overtime right now. The hour has passed.
But if you're watching, obviously, you're a fan of hockey. If you're watching it all, you're looking at the West. Who are you worried about? Who do you want to come out? Look who's back.
What's up?
Who do you want out of the West? Like who when you're watching this whole thing, obviously we're looking way far ahead, and we got to get there first. But as you're watching, if there's any dream teams that you want to kind of make that push, who is it? Who do you think is going to get through? Who do you think will match up against the Rangers well? I'm interested in seeing what everybody else takes because I know I have my teams.
Yeah. Well, while we let the people answer your question, it's a good question, Colin. I'll share my take while we wait. To be honest, I'm not really worried about anyone. There's not a team that I'm afraid of. Carolina would be a close series next round, but I still think we can take it. As far as dream scenario out of the West, if we were to make the finals, either LA or Nashville seem like the easiest teams to beat.
I don't know. I like Nashville.
I would probably want to avoid like Colorado, Vegas, Edmonton, but again, I'm not afraid of them. I think we can beat them.
It's funny that you say that because I look at the Avalanche and I look at a guy like Georgiev. Used to love him as a former Ranger, obviously. I think he is one of the most overrated goalies when it comes to goalies in the league. Obviously, I feel like the analysts always put him in this upper echelon of goalies. Mm-hmm. He's good when it comes to wins. Nothing to do with him, everything to do with his team. He's averaged 4 goals against down the stretch, which is god awful. His save percentage is almost, if it isn't sub 9, it's like 902, 903, which is also terrible. Like
I think it's 899.
That's bad. Like 915 is.
Oh, are you meaning in the playoffs or in the regular season?
Both, but I'm pretty
regular
sure
season was 899.
That's bad. That's not good.
Yeah, that's not.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'm not scared of the Avalanche. I think we have the offensive firepower. I think the Jets have kind of hit a wall here, but I think I don't think there's any team in the West I'm particularly scared of. Outside, there's one team that I'm scared of, and it's the goddamn Golden Knights.
Oh, dude, they're good. Dude.
The way that they circumvent the cap, I think you might be. I see you talking, but I didn't hear anything. But
sorry, I muted myself. Keep talking.
All right, but the way that they've been playing, and the way that they circumvent the cap and the pieces that have come back, they are a scary, scary team. Not a team that I think could beat the Rangers in a 7-game series, but
they're good.
Not obviously we have a long way to go, so I'm not going to start counting my eggs before they hatch here, or count my chickens before they hatch. But if there's one team that I don't want to see in that finals, it's the Golden Knights.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I think Vegas is, everyone gets mad at Vegas for what they do with the cap. But at the same time, it's like every other team can do that too. Vegas, like every other team can do that too, and Vegas does it. I see Joe said all of a sudden Vegas is healthy. I want to see Vegas lose a bunch of cheaters. Like, it's not cheating. Like, there's a clear loophole in the CBA, and they're using it. Like, every other team should do that. Like, if every other team starts using it, I bet that the NHL would close it, but it's not closed. There is a loophole, so the Knights use it. But they're such a good. They're a very good team. Their GM Kelly McCrimmon always goes balls to the walls at the trade deadline, and I mean, he wants to see his team win a cup. So, there's Mrs. Wilson.
My mom wanted to say hi.
Hey, live stream world.
What's going on?
This is my first live stream.
Welcome.
Can we replace your mom with you, Eric?
You mean replace me with my mom?
But
Yeah.
here's my question for the live stream world. And I asked this to Eric. If I had Ranger tickets to Game 5 at the Garden, would I secretly not want them to win tonight
Okay.
so that I can see them win at the Garden in person?
Well,
You know what? I have that same like a dilemma because me and my girlfriend bought tickets for Game 6. And obviously, he's probably not going to go to a Game 6. But at the beginning of the
Not
series,
6, but 5.
yeah. Man.
Like live stream worlds. What do you do? What do you do? I'm heading back to New York tomorrow. Do I want it in New York or do I want it in Washington?
Man,
Question.
that is a good question.
What I would do is I would hope that the Rangers win, and I would get my money back for the tickets for the game. That's not going to happen.
That's right, Joe.
Mhm.
And then I would use that money and just go see a game in round 2.
No, those tickets are so expensive. Kayla was saying how much her parents bought tickets to round 2, and they were $500 a ticket. All right, $509. I'm pretty sure, like specifically.
Well, James, I get it, James. You always just want to win, but
That's what I would do.
come on, if you could be there to see.
I like these answers. Me personally, there's been a couple times I've had tickets to Game 6s, and I never hope it gets to the Game 6. I'd rather watch from home and watch them win. I have Game 6 this year in the final if they get there.
Already?
Yeah, my uncle and I have looked. So we have them essentially locked up.
Wow.
Once that happens, but I'd rather them not get to Game 6. I'd rather them win in a 4-game sweep in the finals. It's nice to have tickets. I'd like to see them win at all times, and obviously you get to see them win in person. It's the best. But the easiest path available. If they can win tonight, go ahead and win tonight. Sorry, I'd love for you guys to be there. That'd be awesome. But I'm taking the rest and the time to prepare against the Hurricane. You get to watch more film against the Hurricane in the days while they get beat up, and hopefully the Islanders, give them hell. Not that I want the Islanders to win at all, but the Islanders go out there and give them a little bit more hell and make their lives as hard as possible. Just that way the Rangers can come in and clean up. That's my take on it.
I agree. Everyone in the chat seems to agree too. Roger said, "Win, don't know the future, don't chance it." Exactly. If we give the Capitals a win tonight, just so you could be happy to go to a Game 5, what happens if the Capitals win Game 5 and then 6? And
then I go.
That's not happening.
Yeah, and then Will gets to go.
I gotta go to Game 6.
But Mom Joe asks, "Who's your favorite New York Ranger?"
Oh, come on, Rempe. That's my boy.
But her answer changes every day.
No, it doesn't.
2 weeks ago, it was Keandre Miller. Last week, it was Zibanejad. Now it's Rempe.
Well, no. Zibanejad, because Eric doesn't always talk nicely about him, and I do like him. And the other night, he had a great game. So I'm like, Eric, Zibanejad, he had a good game. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, Eric.
He's had a good playoff so far. He had a decent regular season. I don't have anything against him.
And Roderick, yes, I left New York, but I have to go back because I am a school teacher and the children are calling. So I need to return.
Disney this time.
I was in Disney and now I'm back.
As was I.
I know we met once. We didn't meet up this time.
No, not this time.
We have to plan better.
I know.
Colin, what's the counter at?
I got this is 5. I've been sitting on it. I have to pee, so I'm going to take a short intermission for myself.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to say goodbye because I need to eat before I catch my flight. So
good seeing you.
Go Rangers.
Yeah, my mother has eaten the aforementioned chicken marsala that we talked about earlier.
Yes.
Aforementioned. I love when people use aforementioned.
All right. Okay. Roger just said Carolina in round 2. There will be a ton of New Yorkers, as there are millions of transplant New Yorkers in the state of North Carolina and South Carolina within drivable distance. I mean, exactly. Yeah. There's a couple teams. I think it's Carolina, Florida.
Yep.
Formerly Arizona. Whenever the Rangers play at their stadiums, it's always just like
it's always you always see a lot. Even
actually,
that
doesn't count.
Actually, DC too. When I went in January, can't remember the exact date. I think it might have been the 13th. I think it went in January 13th. There was a lot of Ranger fans there. So, yeah, Washington is another one. I think Columbus might be another one too, if I can remember correctly. I don't know. But Carolina has a ton of New York fans down there every time they go. I mean, when I was there, the last time we played them when we shut them out 1-0, there was a lot of Igor chants and Let's Go Rangers chants, and I went back and watched it on ESPN Plus, like the replay, and you could hear it. It was very loud, very loud.
Oh yeah, I heard it on the TV. That's what it made me confused at first.
You probably thought it was the how the Penguins were doing it in round one
well,
2
that's
years
what I'm
ago.
saying. Like I heard Igor chants, and I'm like, they're just saying his name. Like, how is that supposed to throw him off? And then I like put 2 and 2 together, and I was like, oh, that's Rangers fans.
Yeah, I actually started one of the chants in my section. Me and my friend's older sister's boyfriend.
There's two chants though when you're hearing your name. There's obviously there's Igor, and then there's
Igor.
That one I feel like is the one that's meant to get in your head. Every time
but it wasn't that.
No, it was like that. It was like how it was at how it is at MSG. It was awesome.
Very well though. I will say we're a large breed over in Cali. There's a ton of Rangers fans. When we play in where San Jose plays, I feel like there's always so many Rangers fans. Against the Ducks feels like a home game. The Kings not so much. But I feel like Rangers fans are very, very well. Yeah. We travel very well. We're good. Obviously, one of the better fan bases in the league. I'd say.
Colin, you were in the bathroom when I said it before. I think the biggest like MSG2s. I'm not counting Islanders and Devils. Like that doesn't count. They're too close.
Yeah.
But to me, it's Carolina, Florida, formerly Arizona. That's like the big three.
God, you saying formerly Arizona sucks.
Hey man, get ready for Fireside Utah. It's coming out soon. I promise.
Dude, the Utah Yetis, man. I'm ready.
I like that name. That's my favorite name of the bunch.
Well, great. Now I know what your answer is going to be. Crap.
Yeah. Well, this is what else I'll say. I really like the Utah Blizzard. That would probably be my favorite if the Colorado Avalanche
were. Yes. I think the Utah Yetis sound too much like that's what they would do in the 90s. I just don't think it's like modern enough to use.
I saw one.
I don't know.
I saw a concept design today on Instagram for the Scorpions, the Utah Scorpions. Let me tell you, the jersey, the concept looked clean. Obviously, you get a mascot out of it because the Rangers can be the only team in the league that doesn't have a mascot. But
you can get a mascot with that, I feel like.
That's what I'm saying. You get a mascot.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Rangers can be the only team because we're too classy for that.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think you get a mascot, you get a cool jersey. The colorway was obviously we've seen the concept. We know what the arena.
I think they're going to use light blue.
No, please not another blue team.
No, I think it's going to be light blue because when they did their it was like welcome to Utah. Utah was outlined in blue. I don't think it's going to be their primary color, but I think they're going to incorporate light blue into their jerseys or into the color scheme.
Look at how many blue teams there are already. Rangers, Leafs, Lightning, Kraken, Islanders, Blue Jackets.
Yeah, but blue goes with anything. That's the thing.
Did I say Maple Leafs?
Yeah, Maple Leafs. I'm looking at my thing here. Did you see the
Panthers have navy blue in theirs?
Yeah, that's not like a primary.
Vancouver too.
Vancouver's a primary blue, yeah.
Winnipeg.
That's
9 already. That's already 9.
A lot of blue.
There's so many blue teams. Do something different.
I guess, but when you think about it, like blue's the easiest color to make a jersey out of. If you're thinking about it, it is blue. The color blue is.
It would be cool if it's the Utah Scorpions. Primary purple, secondary orange.
Being purple and like a darker yellow.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be actually that wouldn't be bad.
The other name, the other name that they trademarked that I like is the Utah Mammoth. I think that would be one of my favorites if the Predators again didn't already exist. Because like a woolly mammoth, saber-toothed tiger,
I'm still here for it. I'm excited to see what they do. Obviously, they said they might go this next season as the
I
Utah.
don't like that. I don't like that.
If it ends up being Utah Hockey Club, I'm Fireside Utah will not happen.
That I don't know. I don't like that. If you're serious about getting a hockey team, wouldn't you have a name ready for it?
It would only be for a year. No, I think they want to take the time and really, because this might be their only shot. Like,
Yeah, but what do you mean take the time? You have all summer. How hard is it to think of a name?
No,
Well,
you really have until the draft.
I think-
There's Bingo barking if you can hear him.
the team kind of they asked for a team. I know the owner of the Jazz is the one that owns them. He asked for a team. They said no, and then Arizona kind of fell apart, and they were gifted this team. But I don't think they were like they're ready to buy it, but I don't think they were ready to do all the branding and whatnot.
I can see that, but at the same time, like
Hold on, it's my turn to go to the bathroom. You guys keep talking.
I feel like at the same time, like when you're trying to get a team, you're gonna want to have, but even before you're gifted it and you're given that team, you're gonna want to at least have a name down, a jersey concept down to show the NHL, hey, we've been doing this work. This is what we have so far. And I guess I do understand what you're saying, Colin, but I feel like at the same time, like you should at least have something ready. It might not have to be the final product, but let's say like here's our prototype jersey that we're having. Here's here's our name, a prototype logo, stuff like that. But I guess I do see what you're saying as well.
The NHL also gets involved because it's there just as much as is the owners.
Yeah,
brand be good. The jerseys still look pretty because they get a percentage of that. I know how jerseys drop. I'm interested in buying one. I have a Kraken jersey. I have a Vegas jersey. I'm trying to get every jersey down the line. I have a lot.
I'm excited to see what they do, because I mean, obviously the Yeti, you could do the Yeti, but I feel like that's kind of like an old school name. Like when you think about the 90s, like that's what comes to mind for me is the Yetis would be a 90 team, but I don't know.
I'm excited to see what they do, but let's get back to the here. We got a playoff game coming up soon. And we got some comments here that we get Eric's back.
You might keep talking. I'm telling my mom something.
Oh, all right.
I can't lie. I didn't hear what you said, Colin. I took an earphone out.
I said, let's get back to let's get back to the Rangers here. As much as I am excited about Utah,
that is true.
Let's get back to these comments here, because we do have a playoff game coming up soon. Believe it or not,
3 hours and 30 minutes. Oy.
Roderick says here, did you guys see that great meme that made fun of the New York Jets on how Winnipeg Jets scored more than 7 in a playoff game twice in the last 15 years and the Jets haven't? That hurts as a Jets fan. I don't like that comment, but it is the reality of it, unfortunately. The Winnipeg Jets are a very good offensive team. And the New York Jets are not even a playoff team half the time. I do think they'll make it this year. But I guess we'll see. Joe says he wants Oilers to come out of the West. I could see it happening. They're an offensive powerhouse with Zach Hyman's goals. Will, you want to add anything to that?
I mean, I can see the Oilers coming out. I had them going to the Western Conference Final. I don't know if their goaltending is going to necessarily be able to hold up for them to make a push to the West. To the Stanley Cup. I'm very sorry. But I also had the Dallas Stars going to the Stanley Cup final. So who knows? They're down 2-1 in the series. So
it's a good series, though.
Yeah, it has been a good series. But the Oilers are good. I mean, obviously they're a good team. They have a young coach in Novelak. We talked about that before. So I could see them coming out of the West, definitely. But I don't know if their goaltending can hold up.
Let's keep going here. It looks like Roderick says he says Knights versus Rangers. He's going to find a way to go. That's epic. If you're going to Vegas, I've heard this is one of the nicest arenas in the.
Yep.
I know
I've
people that have gone. A couple of my friends go to Vegas a lot. They're not even really hockey fans, but every time they go see a Knights game. And just from the pictures I've seen, it's nice.
I mean, when I go to Vegas for my May, I told Kayla, I was like, I at least want to get a tour of the stadium, the arena. Definitely, because I've heard. I think they even have a casino in there, like some slot machines and stuff.
That sounds like Vegas.
They got a bridge that hangs over the ice. I have a friend that's gone and sent me pictures a couple times. It's one of the rinks that I'm trying to get to the most. I'm trying.
Me too.
Lifetime.
I have a question when you're done, Colin.
You go for it.
because I don't think we've ever talked about it. What arenas have we all been to? Because I've only been to a couple. I've obviously
Me
been to
too, only
MSG. I haven't gone to UBS yet, but I've been to Nassau Coliseum. So I'll say that's like 1.5 because it doesn't count anymore. And then I've been to Amalie, and I think that's it.
Okay.
I've been to Amalie. I've been to MSG. I've been to UBS and Nassau. I've been to Bridgestone, which is where Nashville plays. I've been to more. I've been to formerly Staples Center, now Crypto.com, for the Kings.
When did you go to California?
I've been to Cali twice. I went last year for Game 4 against the Oilers.
I don't remember that.
That was crazy. It was so beautiful. It was very nice.
Hold on.
I don't think I've been to any others yet. I'm supposed to go to TD Garden for a Bruins game. I was going to go to the Capitals, but that fell apart. And I know
That's a good. I've been to Capital One Arena. It's very nice. Very nice.
I've seen a Solar Bears game in Orlando.
I'd say that counts.
Oh, and I've been to KeyBank, where the Sabres play.
That's cool.
They're getting some renovations done this summer. I've been to MSG.
Whoa. Before you go, I want to answer Joe's question because he's asked it a few times and we keep overlooking it. How much do jerseys cost in New York? I always order my jerseys online. So, just like the standard, like, what is it, like 200 or like 170 something.
Yeah,
but my Panarin jersey that I bought in Manhattan at like the official NHL store there, the day that he signed with the Rangers, I just happened to be in the city. I spent like $400 on that. They were like stitching it together as I walked in, and I just dropped my like entire bank account on it.
I've done that before. Don't worry.
Speaking of jerseys, my sister's birthday is coming up, and she's getting gifted a Trocheck jersey right now. So I do have to go upstairs just for the presenting of the jersey.
Wait,
What jersey is she getting?
She got Trocheck for her birthday.
Oh.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
There's just so we can give it to her, and then I'm going to come right back. So I'll be right back.
Yep. Tell her I said happy birthday.
I've always wanted to gift my girlfriend a jersey. She always says no, that she won't wear it. She has one jersey that's Panarin.
I can't even afford jerseys for myself.
I have spent a lot of money on jerseys. I'm not going to say how much some of my jerseys were. They were pretty expensive.
Yeah, but Will, run me through the arenas you've been to.
MSG, PNC, Capital One. That's it. That is it.
Yeah. He's so bad.
This is easily the longest Fireside Rangers episode that we've ever made.
we can get my girlfriend on. She can come. Kayla can come on.
Kayla want to hop on?
Nah, she doesn't want to hop. She looked at me like wide eyes, like don't even say that.
Where's Bingo?
Bingo's watching his eyelids right now by my door. He has had a long day. He's been on a couple. We've taken him on some long walks, and he is he's passed out. He always comes home from his walks and just passes out. He's plopped on the floor right now on his side.
Yeah, it happens. Man, at this point, we're over an hour and a half. I don't even know what to talk about anymore. We haven't even.
I don't either. I feel like we've talked about everything.
We haven't discussed the Rangers in about 30 minutes. Joe asked, "Are you guys going to be live after the Rangers game?" Probably not, just because the game's at 8. It's not going to end until like 10:30. And then I have and Colin both have work tomorrow. Will you probably
work tomorrow?
You have work.
School tomorrow.
So probably not. If we have another afternoon game, yeah, like we went live after game 1 because it was at 3. But nights like this, we just do the pregame, and then usually tomorrow evening when we're all done with work and stuff, that's when we'll upload our reactions and all that good stuff there. Joe did say answer questions. Oh, I'm sure I've skipped over a million questions. Hey, boys, where's the best pizza in New York? I forget the name of it, but we'll need to ask Anthony. Me and him together were in New York City, and we went to some pizza place that Dave Portnoy ranked like
Roses.
No, he rated it like a 9.6. I don't think it was John's of Bleecker. I know that's like his highest ever. I don't think we went there, but it might have been. It very well could have been. That was like the best pizza I've had, though. I don't remember the name of it. I'm gonna text Tony right now because he might know. But yeah,
I got pizza from this place called 99-cent Pizza last time I was there. It was pretty good. I can't lie. It was good. Very good. I think we've talked about everything but the meaning of life at this point. What is the meaning of life? It's 42. 42 is the meaning of life.
Jackie Robinson?
It's from a movie. I can't remember what movie. Can't remember what movie it's from. But the meaning of life is 42.
Okay, I texted
Rangers,
Tony. So
Joe, you're talking about going to a Rangers-Oilers game. I can't remember. Joe's from Edmonton. I don't know how much the tickets would be in Edmonton. And
I've been to a Rangers-Oilers game.
Yes, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yes, couldn't remember, but that's what the movie that's the movie that it is from. Couldn't get it out of my mouth.
Yeah, Joe, cool story for you. One of my friends back in New York has season tickets that are like the perfect seats, like center ice, really low. And there was, I think Colin was at that game. Colin, did you come with us to the Rangers-Oilers game?
I was. Before we continue that, I want to ring my sister in her New Jersey.
Hey, Courtney.
Very nice.
Spin around. Let me see.
Yes, sir. Tough.
Legend.
The man himself. Courtney, who's winning tonight?
Rangers.
Yes,
Good.
sir.
That's your score prediction.
4-2.
4-2. There you have it, boys.
I like it.
Bye, Courtney. Colin, Joe asked, "What's the best pizza in New York?" What are you thinking?
It's a good question. I know my buddy Zach made me walk in the rain like 2 blocks to get to this place that was pretty mid. So I got to be careful with my answer here. I don't know. I'm tough because I feel like
Tony answered, so I have mine whenever you're done, Colin.
No, I don't really eat pizza when I go to the city that much.
I always do. Every time I'm in New York City, I always get pizza.
Yeah, I never really get pizza. Well, I'm always on Long Island, actually. So
I get food from the carts. The carts are some of the best places you can get food in the city, in my opinion. Like when you go to Philly, some of the best Philly cheesesteaks you can get.
Yeah.
So like, I always get food from the carts in the city. I don't really go to like sit down places other than like the Stardust Diner is the one that.
Oh, that's really good. Ellen Stardust Diner. Love that place.
I frequent that place, but I don't really frequent pizza places. So for me, some of the best pizza on the island is from my hometown. So I mean, it probably won't mean anything to him. But I'm gonna say like Sal's Pizza and Sayville. That place is gas.
In Sayville?
Oh, so good.
Oh my gosh, that's where Kayla's cousins live in Sayville. We always go to Cafe Amici or Capellini in Center Regional. Selden, Long Island.
Wait, who's your cousin? I'm from Sayville. So is that right?
Kayla's cousin. No, they're young. They're really young.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, like second, third grade.
Maybe they have a class of my cousins.
22. Oh. Yeah, no, they're a lot younger than you, like 9 and then like 20 years younger than you.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little bit younger. But yeah, Tony answered me. Shout out him. The pizza place.
Tony.
My mom also just texted me. John's on Bleecker Street is the best. I think I went there. It was Prince Street Pizza in Manhattan. That was the place me and Tony went to together, and I think it was the best pizza I've ever had.
You guys, I need to go then next time I go.
Yeah, I need to go whenever I go back to the city. Prince Pizza.
Yeah, Prince Street Pizza.
Prince Street Pizza.
James just said for better TV ratings, he wants Edmonton versus the Rangers. All of Canada would be watching, and the Rangers are one of the biggest markets in the NHL. Yes, ratings for that series would be off the charts, but I also don't feel like facing Connor McDavid, so I don't want it. I want to play someone who we're going to sweep in the finals. But
it's dream, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is the part of the stream where I'm gonna like get distracted because I have to. We've been on here for nearly 2 hours now. I got to start posting on the Fireside Rangers social media accounts. So if you want to see what I'm about to post, check it out. But YouTube, I need you to carry for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, the Rangers entrance song is Bob O'Reilly. Bob O'Reilly, yep.
Let's answer some comments here. I don't know where Eric stopped, so it's a tough part for me. Oh, pizza. Let's see. Rangers jersey. Is that one?
I think we answered that one.
Fins up and G-Men strong for Roderick.
Wow.
Dolphins. Lions? What a weird combo.
Not a Finns guy here.
He is not.
Giants guy.
He is not loving on my Jets football fandom here. Roderick, I liked you, man. What's going on? Let's see. They love Knobloch in Edmonton. They sure do, and with good reason, as he turned that franchise around.
Yeah.
Let's keep going here.
Ooh. Oh, Colin just left.
Did we lose Colin? All right, Will, you're the tertiary host. Start taking over.
Cool. I grew up on Dan Marino, and I'm from upstate New York. Not a Bills fan, I guess. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, Dan Marino, he's awesome, obviously. One of the best quarterbacks in NFL history.
My favorite Dan Marino moment was when he showed up in Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. It's a phenomenal movie. I think we just lost Colin entirely.
Yeah. Hey, boys, out of you three, how long you been friends, and what made you guys want to do a podcast? Eric, take it away, buddy.
I'm gonna have to answer this one while I make the social media posts. Me and Colin have been friends for over 10 years now. We went to school together, grew up together, all that good stuff. Colin is back, so let me do bada bing, bada boom.
My apologies.
It is
It's
not
all
okay.
good. So someone asked how long we've all been friends and stuff, and then what made us want to do a podcast. So I'm running through it while I make the social posts. Like I said, me and Colin have been friends for like over a decade now. We went to school together, all that good stuff. Me and Anthony, who Joe, I don't know if you confirmed if this is your first time here, if you've been here before, but Anthony, who when the podcast started off, it was just me and him. He only comes on every once in a while now because he's busy with Fireside Giants. We met in college, and he's been doing Giants for years now. And he asked me if I want to start a Rangers podcast. And the whole thing was he was never big in the hockey. He would start it with me. He'd show me the ropes. Once we got things going, he would kind of fade away and I would take over, which has kind of happened, but he still comes on every once in a while. He follows us a lot. Okay. Yeah. And then we just found Will on Twitter a couple months ago. And we were like, hey, dude.
Good guy.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Like, I love you guys too.
We were like, well, you got some good content. You can come on. But yeah, no, like I said, what made us want to start doing it for me, honestly, is just because I saw what Tony had with Giants, and how they just create content and interact with the fans like every single day. I thought that was really cool. Obviously love the Rangers, so that was a big part of it too. So that's what got me into it. I don't know if you two want to share why you do it, but we're getting to motivation right now.
No, I mean, for me, you hit me up. You and Tone hit me up. I know you had told me that there were some openings for the podcast, and you just know how much I like the Rangers. I know early on I was very vocal in our old Instagram chat with our high school buddies, which also featured Dylan, who's been on the channel a couple of times, even though he has the coldest takes in the Instagram chat. But we talk a lot about the Rangers. So when a spot opened up and you were like, hey, we're interested in having you on the pod, I was in love with the idea. I watched a little bit beforehand, and I was excited to get on here as soon as possible. I was also excited to write. I wrote a little bit in the beginning. I haven't written as much since. It's been a long time, but I'm excited to get back into that soon. I got to talk to Tone about getting some topics here and there. But yeah, no, I mean, I've lived and breathed Rangers since like 2013. I've been like a diehard. This has been like my number one team in terms of sports. So like to talk about every year, I love it. I love the interaction. I love going. I used to, like, when I was younger, I'd go on Instagram and I'd like purposely get in fights with Islander fans just so I could talk about how and the Rangers. To get to just come here and talk about the Rangers as much as possible with people who also like to and enjoy listening to us talk about the Rangers and giving their input. I think it's great. Eric texted earlier today that we were streaming, and I was so excited. I couldn't wait for it. Getting to interact with the fans is part of the reason. Getting to talk about the Rangers, obviously, is always an added bonus. And then getting to meet new people like Will, because I do like Will. I like what he brings to this team. And if I had not joined, I never would have met him. And I'm excited. I know we're gonna get together this summer, Yankees games, things like that. So it's good. It's cool to meet other fans out there and increase my knowledge and fandom with them.
Yeah, honestly, I started tweeting on Twitter during the 2021 season. I guess 2020-21 season is how the NHL classifies it. But a couple years later, like 3 years later, Anthony hit me up just out of nowhere. I was coming back from my first concert, actually, and he's like, we'd love to have you on as a writer. And I was like, oh, cool. So did that, and I was like, I have my own podcast. Like, if there's any chance I could do that through you guys. And he's like, actually, we have a podcast already. And then I started talking to Eric. I talked to Eric, and then obviously I came on for my first show. I met Colin, and I've gotten very close with them since that. I think it was October 6th, if I can remember the date correctly. It was the day after the last preseason game. The Rangers played the Bruins in the last one. Capo Caco actually scored. Fun fact, but we all got really close.
Capo Caco scores a goal.
Huh?
So it was a good game when Capo Caco scores a goal.
They lost that game, I'm pretty sure.
Also, I'm officially done uploading stuff right now. So if you want to see whatever it was, check out @Fireside Rangers on Instagram, X, TikTok, and I also just posted on YouTube. I did just post a YouTube video. So it's just a reel. It's only a 30-second reel about Artemi Panarin.
What is it about Panarin?
It's, well, fans, you'll have to check that out once we're done here.
Bruh. We could talk about Panarin.
We could talk about Artemi Panarin. I like talking about Panarin.
Me too.
Hold on. Joe did say, Will, you're always on point, man. Always good input.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Also, Matt Sheridan, welcome. Another name that I recognize here. Joe also says, us three seem like a good team. That is the dream team for a reason. Only us would be able to take a short afternoon live stream and extend it 2 hours. Then he says, I always wanted to start a podcast here in Edmonton because my hockey knowledge is right up there. Hey, man, you make the channel, I'll hop on, man. We can talk about the Oilers. I'd be more than happy to. Just give me the invite and we'll do it. But honestly, starting a podcast, super easy, man. You just got to make the channel, get a couple graphics, get some good ideas cooking. I will say my piece of advice to anyone that wants to start a podcast: consistency is key. It's the best way to help expand your fan base is just have a set schedule, post as often as you can. I know there have been some times in the history of Fireside Rangers where we've gone like a week or two without posting anything. We've been very active recently, this season in particular, but consistency is key. That's my professional advice. Optic says he hates Tom Wilson, such a punk. I agree.
I concur.
I don't like him.
I concur.
He hasn't really done anything this series though. It's kind of boring. This is what I want to talk about. Is it just me, or have the playoffs just like not been that good this year? I'm like not entertained.
I actually think they've been pretty good this year, in my opinion.
Like, obviously, I really enjoy to see the Rangers playing as good as they are, but like in years past, I've watched like every single playoff game. Like, I'll sit down at the starting time and I won't turn off my TV until all of the games are over.
Yeah,
I have like and I'm still doing that now. Like, I had the Colorado game on. I don't even know what the score or what period is in Colorado because I've been looking at my screen.
3-4 period.
But like, I just find it boring. Like, I sit down and I put it on. I'm just like not entertained.
Well, that's the problem with the first round matchup. Sometimes is it's just a little bit of a mismatch as you get.
Yeah, that's what Matt just said. We're still early in the playoffs.
Next round, so much better.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
As it, like, I don't know. I feel like it could just be like the series, maybe, like I don't know, like Carolina Islanders. Everyone knew Carolina was going to blow them out of the water.
Yeah.
Same thing with us. Like, everyone knew Washington didn't really stand that much of a chance.
Well,
so obviously, I'm entertained by it because I'm a Rangers fan. But if I was like a Dallas Stars fan, like I wouldn't just casually tune into Rangers Capitals.
Yeah,
Like,
I wouldn't either. Yeah,
that's the benefit though of like being the good seeds is you get those earlier, the easier matchups earlier on.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not even talking about just from like the standpoint of a Rangers fan. I just mean like overall around the NHL. Like,
well, like
I don't know.
part of it is like, yeah, it's not as entertaining because it's so dominant. Like the better matchups to watch are the close games. Obviously, there hasn't been a lot of those. I feel like a lot of the games.
I feel like every game, like we did have a couple overtime games yesterday. Before that, I think there's only been like 3 total overtime games. Like they're not close. Boston has been blowing Toronto out of the water every single game. Florida's dominating Tampa. The Colorado-Winnipeg series, there hasn't been a single close game. It's been a blowout every single time.
Yeah, it's either one way or the other. That's
outside of game 1. I mean, that game actually that was the closest game of the series. What was that? 7-5, 7-6, maybe.
That one was wild.
There was no defense nor goaltending in that series.
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys are right. Like, it could just be because it's the first round. And like Matt just said, next round is when the anxiety starts.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's right. But like, if I had to give like a rating out of 10 first round so far, it probably wouldn't be that good. What happens to the Yankees?
Anthony Rizzo has hit a 2-run nuke.
Ball
was smoked off the bat. Holy crap. 15-5 Yankees right now.
Back-to-back 30 runs in the last 2 games.
This offense is back. This offense has sucked for the first month of the year.
I thought he had look.
I didn't think that was out. And that ball was tagged. Oh, wow, off the post, too. Yeah, that ball was tagged right off the bat.
Good tonight. We just need our Rangers to close it out from here.
Yep, they need to have that killer instinct. A lot of the last time, I'm not going to say that actually. I'm not bringing that up, but
say it will.
I feel like the last couple playoff series I've gone to 6-7 games, so got to have that killer instinct.
Gotta have it. Joe says Dallas is going to tie that series up. They got life now. I sure hope so. This is one of my more unpopular takes, but I was never big on Dallas in the playoffs. In my bracket, I also had Vegas beating them, not only because of like the cap situation and them cheating, of course, but just in general, like I don't see the Stars making it that far. So I hope they come back and beat Vegas. I don't like Vegas.
I think it's really just dependent on Ottinger, honestly. I feel like he's been the biggest question mark. I feel like coming into the series, he was the biggest question mark is how is he going to do? Because obviously he had a pretty rough, for his center, had a pretty rough year. So it really depended on Ottinger, and Ottinger's not doing what he's supposed to be doing right now. It's not going well for the Stars.
Yeah, I don't know. Looking at other series though, like LA, Edmonton. To be honest, I haven't watched a single game of that series because I have to go to bed at like 10 for work every day. So.
I haven't seen a single game of the Edmonton series because it's so late. Yeah, it's late.
I that's the beauty of living on the East Coast is because I talked about this with one of my friends. Living in the West, like hockey ends after the 7 o'clocks. I couldn't do that. I love having the late games. I love
but as someone that needs to wake up at 6:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday.
Exactly. I'm not staying up till 10:30 just to watch this game. Like I'd rather be a lot earlier.
That's why I'm mad about it because like I'm not going to skip a Rangers game. Why are we starting at 8? I know I'm not the only New Yorker that has to wake up early for work on a Monday morning. Like
I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, boys. I'll be back. I'm sorry.
At this point, like we're in triple overtime of the live.
Yeah, honestly, we really are.
I walked away like 4 times. You're good.
Yeah, I keep getting up. I gotta get up in a minute again too. But we gotta take turns. It's Will's turn.
Oh man, where'd the fireworks go?
Mine doesn't do it. Colin, what is your phone battery at after 2 hours?
It was at 67 when we started this.
And what's it at now?
31.
Nice. You're gonna have no phone for the rest of the night. Chris said Isles have been playing Canes well. Score don't show it. Canes not dominant. That is fair. I think in game 1, Carolina looks really sloppy, and since then they've picked it up. But that series has actually been kind of close.
I will say
there haven't been any blowouts.
What the series has done for me is it's given me hope. I think you look at the way that the Islanders are built. I don't think they're a good team on any front. I think they have good goalies. I think their defense is mid. I think their offense is top heavy. I think you look at a team like the Rangers, and when you compare them to the Islanders on paper, obviously we're better. I think when you look at how they're playing the Hurricane, obviously outside of the stretches, like that 3-0 game when they blew it in like 2 seconds, I think the first period was a perfect example of how to play that game. I think the Rangers have the offensive firepower and the heart and the grit to kind of continue going, whereas the Islanders will score 3 and then they'll sit back. I think you have to take the good play from the Islanders and use that as a blueprint going into this next series, because it's nearly guaranteed that that's going to be it. So I think it's important to see what they're doing right and kind of build upon it, because anything that the little brother Islanders can do, we can do better. I think we have to pay attention to what they're doing well and then just do it better. I think we have to remember that the Hurricanes are human. I thought once they got Gensel, they would be very good, because the thing that's been holding them back all these years is they haven't had a superstar.
Yeah.
One could argue that Gensel is that superstar. He has the most points by a trade deadline acquisition in NHL history, and that was well before the season ended. And he is a dog. I mean, we've seen it while he played for the Penguins multiple times. There was last year he kicked one, 2 years ago he kicked one out of the air to his stick, and then he batted.
That was a high stick.
I thought it was.
That was a high stick.
I thought it was a high stick too, but Toronto disagreed, and so in terms of points, it counts as a goal. But just to even have that play be in conversation, right? It's crazy.
That was a crazy play. The hand-eye and foot coordination that needs to happen on that play is nuts. And yeah, I agree with you, Colin.
It's beautiful. So I was a little worried when they got him and we missed out on him that he was going to be the missing piece. But they're still extremely human. They are. Mm-hmm. They've very close games to the New York Islanders, a team that barely deserves to be in the playoffs, in my opinion. Red Wings made it. I think they probably would have given them a better run for their money. And the Red Wings, I don't think, are an extremely good team either. So to look at this Canes team, and I'm not going to say it's going to be a cakewalk by any means. This is still a good team. But it's not the super team that I was expecting going into the series. So I think that it's definitely a winnable series. I think that they just need to continue to play their game. I think they need to continue doing what they're doing and also build on what the Islanders are doing and take the good parts of their game, the very few good parts that the Islanders do have, and implement that into their system here.
If the Rangers play the way they did the last game this year against Carolina, where we played very strong defensively in that game, and obviously Igor played very well, and we had some offensive chances. Obviously, Kochetkov played a gorgeously that game. I mean, I was shocked by that performance of his, but I think like any other team, even though the Canes are the team that everyone sees winning the Stanley Cup this year, I think they obviously have weaknesses. They're human. Every team's human. And 2 years ago when we played them in the second round, everyone thought that they'd wipe the floor with us, and obviously we beat them in 7. So, and now it's a different Rangers team. But obviously they are human, and I mean, I think a Rangers-Canes series would be great. That'd be a great series.
It would probably be. That's the series that I'm most excited for. I wouldn't be shocked. Jody. I wouldn't be shocked if whoever comes out on top in a Rangers-Canes series wins the cup.
Yeah.
Joe says, Colin, you must be thirsty, LOL. Colin, I'm curious, what is the beer counter at?
We'll take a slight look over here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is number 7.
So we're on 7. If you bet the over, you've won. Roderick was the only one that bet. So here's your second shout out of the live stream, Roderick. There you go. I also bet the over. I'm a winner.
With a little bit of help from some overtime here.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Wow.
Roderick already celebrating with his trophy in the chat.
Hellebuck just got pulled.
Did he?
Yep.
Why are they? Wait.
What are you talking about, dude? I'm looking at a commercial for I don't even know what that is.
You must be behind, boy, because he just got pulled.
It's
Brissois is in now.
I see Joe here saying he said, "You sure you're not Canadian?" I do love me a Molson. If I was able to get me some Molson down here on the island, I'll be drinking those bad boys. Obviously, I'm drinking from scraps here. Nothing great. It's all just things I've found around my basement over the past couple months because people leave drinks here and then I forget to clean them up. But I love me a good Molson. So probably next stream, I'll see if I can get my hands on some, and then we'll do that. We'll do that as the counter.
Grab yourself some Labatt Blue.
Oh, that's another great beer. Labatt Blue is beautiful. Actually, that's probably my drink of choice.
They use, fun fact, in Futurama, they have a beer that's named very similar to whatever the one you just said, Labatt
Blue?
Yeah, Labatt Blue. It's like Labatt 2 and Futurama. That's like my favorite show of all time. My girlfriend can confirm that for me. I've been watching it since 4th grade. I can recite the entire first episode, and yeah,
That's
I
great.
fall asleep to it. Love Futurama. But
Never
they do
seen
have-
Let's see. Roderick says the Rangers have owned the Canes over the past 3 seasons in both the regular season and the playoffs. You're right, but at the end of the day, it's a new year. Both teams are different.
Yeah.
I don't like to. That's what I don't like when people talk about like season series. Like, yeah, sure. This year in the regular season, the Rangers and Caps went 2-2 against each other. But like here we are 3-0. Like it doesn't mean anything.
Our whole other animal.
Remember in the COVID year when we had the play-in round, we played against Carolina. We swept them in that season series, and then they swept us in the
Oh my
playoffs.
God! Yeah, that was horrible. We played like crap.
Hey, but then we got Lafreniere. We got Lafreniere because of it.
I will never forget when I was talking with Rangers fans, and I was saying, "Hey, I'd rather lose this series because we're still in it."
We weren't going to win the cup that year.
Oh, we were not. What is this play-in round going to do for us? We're going to go to the next round. We're going to get stomped, or we're going to lose. We still get a little bit of playoff experience, and we get a chance for the first overall pick. And I don't know if Eric can quote me on saying that, but I do remember saying that to a bunch of fans.
Yeah, I don't remember you talking about it, but I remember that I was also in the same boat. I remember the first ever article I wrote for Empire Sports Media was titled, "Who should the Rangers draft with their number 1 overall draft pick?" And
Alexis Lafreniere.
I did say Alexis Lafreniere. I am a mind reader. I knew it would happen.
I was on the fence. I won't lie.
Who'd you say, Colin?
Well,
Byfield or Stutzel?
To be fair,
I feel the different round. Was that the Kako year? I don't know.
Yeah. At the time, the Rangers desperately needed center help. So I wanted Byfield real bad. Not more than Lafreniere, just because he was considered a generational talent. At the end of the day, I did want Lafreniere.
Yeah.
But when I first heard we got the first overall pick, I was intrigued by Byfield.
I mean, I was too, because he was a center, exactly like you. I mean, we needed center help, and
built like Anze Kopitar, who had done nothing but terrorize us in the playoffs.
Will, why did Chris say some things you need to keep to yourself? What did you say? What did I miss?
I don't know. I don't know what I said.
Will's canceled. You're fired.
Ah, great.
Both fired.
Joe says, just curious, do you guys have a second hockey team you like to watch?
I do.
I don't really like to watch anyone.
Oh, what? You don't like Futurama? What? Chris? What?
No.
I don't even care, dude. I've been watching that show since 4th grade. I don't even care. Love Futurama.
I've never seen it.
I have a second. I have one team from the East, the Rangers, no brainer. One team overall, really. But my secondary team is the Kraken. Love the Kraken. Have a jersey. I think they're fun. I think they're a fun team to watch.
Yeah, I
don't have a second team.
I like.
I don't like have another team that I like watch, but I like to see. And this is going to sound controversial and might come back to bite me in a couple weeks. But I like to see the Florida Panthers succeed. For those who don't know, it's like I have a Panthers hat, got a scarf.
Oh, he's got a hat and a scarf, guys.
I've never been to a game,
big fan.
I like a lot of their players. Like I like Barkov. I like Ekblad. I like Bob. So I wouldn't really call them my second team, but they're cool.
I like your comment, Roderick. That was funny.
What do you say? Let's give a look.
I don't understand it.
Zoidberg is a character that nobody likes. He is homeless, smells bad, He's a doctor, but doesn't know anything about. Doesn't know how to be a doctor. He's just dumb, very dumb, and he's also poor.
That's funny.
Capital.
Joe, Matt said second team for him is the Hawks. No,
That's a bad take.
I don't like the Hawks. I don't like what they do over there.
I like watching the Sabres. Like
When
one of my best
They
best
cheated.
friends-
They cheated to get the dart.
no,
The NHL just likes it too much. But Joe says he loves watching McDavid live in person. The guy's crazy on skates. Well, the one time that me and Colin both attended a Rangers Edmonton Oilers game, McDavid had COVID, so we didn't get to see him.
Me and Kayla were gonna go to a Rangers Oilers game 2 years ago, and then I actually went to the game before that. I went to the game against the Lightning. Fun fact.
I think it's good to have a team in the West. I think it's fun. It just makes it more interesting. Like when I was
I like
growing,
the Predators too.
I used to love the San Jose Sharks.
Oh, dude,
so
when the
I
Sharks
used
were in
to-
their prime,
You know who I used to really love? Which is going to sound so weird. Back in like 2015, I was a big Ducks guy. I had a
Yeah.
Ducks sweatshirt. Then they got Hagelin, and I loved Hagelin. He used to be my favorite Ranger. Back when the Ducks were good, like I loved them. I remember in the conference finals that year in 2015, it was Rangers versus Lightning, and then Hawks versus Ducks. Obviously, I was pulling hard for the Rangers. The Lightning won, and then I was pulling hard for the Ducks, and then the Blackhawks won.
I'm a big fan of the sport, but like I love having a team from each side. There's not a lot of games that I don't watch. I try to tune into everything. I love being plugged in to the NHL. I'm looking at a poster here of all the teams. Obviously, it doesn't have the Kraken on it just because it's a little outdated. I loved the Sharks growing up. Just like it's weird because I loved just their logo. I thought it was cool when I was young. Obviously, I'm a diehard Rangers fan. I pick them every day over them. But I just liked what the Sharks were doing. I loved Marlowe. I loved Thornton, Pavelski.
When I was a kid and I signed up for roller hockey, like a roller hockey league for the first time, my team name was the Sharks. So I did like the Sharks a little bit because of that. I just remember like that era of the Ducks was so cool. And I had like Ryan Getzlaf,
Corey Perry.
Corey Perry back before he was like a little
Scott Niedermayer.
yeah, like there was a cool team. Ryan Kessler was still on the Ducks.
Kessler.
No, see, that's the thing, though. It's like my love for the Rangers. Wait, Will, you have to go?
I do have to go. I apologize.
All right. Well, this is what we're going to do because I'm getting a little tired, too. Will, you go. Me and Colin will talk for a few more minutes, and we'll start to wrap things up.
Sounds good. I will see you guys later. Let's go Rangers.
Wait,
Parlay. All right. This one's going to be wild because it's going to have a lot of stuff that's never going to happen in it. But it's going to happen.
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Nick Bonino comes out of nowhere from free agency. And
I forgot he was on the Rangers this season.
And scores a goal. I honestly kind of forgot he was too. Tyler Pitlick, same thing. He's going to come up from Hartford, score a goal. And Igor Shesterkin, this time he does score an empty net goal.
Pitlick's in Hartford?
I think so. I think he's in Hartford right now.
Good for him being a good sport and going down.
I know.
Is he?
I think he's in Hartford. He's in Hartford right now, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. You could be right. I genuinely have no idea.
I have no clue. I'm pretty sure he's in Hartford. But that's my parlay for the day.
Wait, we're not getting an Igor Shesterkin anytime goal scorer?
I did. Igor Shesterkin, I said he's going to score an empty net goal.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Well, before you go, are you watching Jake Bauers pitch against the Yankees right now?
Jake Bauers, a Yankees legend, by the way. Yes, I am watching that. He had an insanity run last year, if you don't remember, Colin.
Don't worry, Joe. I'm going to get to your question in a second.
All right, well, I am going to go now, but let's go Rangers.
Well,
let's go Rangers. Peace out, Will.
See you guys. Peace out.
Colin, I don't have a duo for me and you set, so you're going to be Will for a minute. But we'll start.
Futurama.
Wait, what?
I said, hi, guys. I love Futurama.
Okay, let's just go through all the comments that we have left, and we'll start to wrap things up. I can't believe it's almost been 2.5 hours.
We had fun, we had fun today.
I told you before we started, this is going to be the greatest live stream ever.
Has been one of the better ones. I hope everybody has enjoyed. I'm glad that everybody has stuck around. Shout out to Roger, who's literally been here since the moment.
Roger is the fan of the day. I can't lie.
Chris has been here for a good time too. So is Joe. There's been a lot of people who've been here since the beginning. If you've been here for a long time,
and y'all get special shout outs.
Shout out.
Fans. Here's the question Joe asked. What's Kreider like watching live in a game? Is he really fast when you see him play in person? Yeah.
Yes.
He's a rocket.
It's
not CGI on TV. He's a speed demon.
He's lost a bit of his speed over the years, but he's still such a power forward. He just goes. I mean, similar to that goal in game 1. We haven't done it as much this year where it's like a set play, but he just has the ability to turn on the afterburners and cook defenders on the outside and cut to the middle. I think the year it was the most prevalent was the year he scored 50 goals, 50 or 54, whatever it was.
I think the year it was most prevalent was when he skated straight in the Carey Price.
Oh, God.
That'll anger a couple people watching.
He was tripped.
He was tripped. I'm completely joking. Let's just hope and pray there's no Montreal fans in here. Otherwise, they'll come from my head. But no, he was tripped. All right, what's Roderick saying here? The very first goalie in history of the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, Herbert, is from Troy, New York, and one of the places he used to play inline hockey during the summer. Went to college right next door to his high school. That's very cool, Roderick. Ask him if he wants to hop on too. We'd love to have some guests. Chris has to go. Let's go Rangers, my friend. OPTRDR says, let's go Rangers. Let's go. Roderick says it is a genuine pleasure to support us. We're happy to have you here.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Roderick. You're the MVP of the stream. Roger Kreider, never met the guy. Oh, you just happen to know him. I like the way that Roger spelled Kreider.
Sounding it out, but that's the way to get it done. We know what he meant.
We know what he meant. That's how I feel. A lot of the comments that I read, I'm like, I get what you're saying. But Colin, what do you want to do? We've been doing this for 2 hours and 60 minutes. You want to push for 2.5 or just?
Up to you, man. I'm down to keep going. I'm having a blast here.
Dude, even if I go, you could still keep going. It's up to you.
I don't know if these people want to continue to deal with Buzz, Colin. I'm 6 drinks deep, working on the 7th as we speak. I think I connection to you, but if you'd like to go, I'm sure I can do my best.
Do you want to do it?
If you're looking to go, I can. If anyone else wants to hang out, I'll continue to answer questions.
All right, fans, let us know in the chat. Do you want us to keep going? Would you stick around if it's just Colin? Joe says 10 more minutes. Because, we're just running out of things to talk about.
Ever, man. We just need some.
I'm pretty sure before today, the longest video ever was just like an hour, just like a regular live stream.
Yeah.
We've gone above and beyond. When it comes to Rangers podcast, we deserve the extra effort award. For Roderick's still food prepping. How's the wife? Is she still yapping? Okay, I don't know, Colin. I gotta go to the bathroom. You gotta carry for at least 2 more minutes.
I can carry for 2 more minutes. Easy.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna mute myself. Also, did you see the last time I went to the bathroom and I bashed my head on the corner of the wall?
Did not see that. I wish I did.
Dude, when I came back, oops, sorry, I muted myself. I was scared that the comments would be making fun of me, but I turned and I was like, boom.
You forget you have.
Yeah, if you go back afterwards, you'll see it. I don't know when it was, though. That's the thing. But yeah, you just talk. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Let's see. Hit me with 2 questions, guys. Let's see. Are the girls in MSG hockey games beautiful, Colin? Yes, they are. There are some beautiful women. I'm sure there are in every arena. The couple that I've been to, I've seen some beautiful hockey fans. I feel like when it comes to sports, hockey does have some of the best looking women fans. But I'm speaking in terms of Will Cohen right now. He's the most beautiful woman that I know when it comes to hockey fans. I hope he can carry it better than the Jets can carry the football. Roderick, I don't appreciate the Jets slander, man. I thought we were friends. I thought we could bond on the Rangers, and you're hating on my New York Jets. it's a hard knock life sometimes. I think this is the year that the Jets finally make it back to the playoffs. But we'll see. We'll see. But back to the Rangers. I have a couple questions for you guys. So let me see if I can conjure those up real quick. I know I was thinking about them earlier. Who do we have scoring tonight? All right, everybody drop your comments below on who's going to score tonight. I'm excited to see what people think. Me personally, I'm hoping Rempe scores again, just to spite the Capitals and the refs. But drop below in the comments who you think is going to score. I don't mind the Jets. I'm just an Eagles fan, says Joe. That's valid. That's valid. In my spare time, I do like to root for the Eagles. I think they're a good football team.
Did you see what I texted you, Colin?
I did not. I'm continuing to watch Roderick slander my New York Jets. He is playing them.
Casey DeSmith is ruled out.
Is he?
Yeah.
So Vancouver is down to their third string. Similar to the Penguins when they lost to the New York Rangers. Roderick's wife says the bread man. Roderick says Igor. I like both those predictions. I'm going to put down a lock. I'm going to put down a lock.
Predictions for what? The score?
Or I did ask everybody who was going to score. I forgot you were gone.
Yeah, Eagle's going to score. Joe says Panarin's going to open the floodgates. I hope so.
Right?
I do want to comment something really quick. Because as I mentioned about an hour ago, every once in a while, I have some fans DM me on Instagram, giving me their thoughts and everything. I had a couple people yesterday telling me that Panarin has not been the greatest the last 2 games. He's not shooting and he's not scoring. But I'm like, yeah, dude, because we spent half the game shorthanded and he's not on the ice.
Well, I know I mentioned this a couple of videos ago. Panarin demands attention. He demands your best defenders. So while Panarin might not be scoring as much as we'd like him to, every time he's out there, there's 2 guys on him. Or the best defender on the ice is on him. Like he's constantly commanding the attention of the Capitals, which opens up the ice for Trocheck, for Lafreniere, for Kreider, for Mika on the power play. Like he demands the best on him at all times because when it isn't, he makes you pay. So every time that Panarin is out there, the best on the ice is out there with him, and it opens up the ice for everybody else.
Yeah, no, that's kind of valid. Also, Colin, now that glitch, what happens when I pull up comments and the whole thing moves? It only happens when we have more than 2 people. So now that we're double, just if you see a comment you like, just click on it. Boom.
Yeah,
Frank says,
I like that, Frank.
Yeah, I would. Lafreniere, he hasn't scored a goal yet. He has a couple of assists, but he hasn't scored a goal. That'd be nice to see.
Look, the goal would really ignite him going into this next round.
Yeah. Joe wants us to ask questions. Who is everyone's favorite player? Mine is Panarin.
I got to say, I love going into the season. I love Kreider. I think what Kreider does to this team year in, year out. I was on the fence whether to sign him a couple years ago. When it came down to it, they ended up signing him. He broke his leg in that season, and I was really upset. But
I forgot he did not. Wasn't it his foot or was it his leg?
It might have been his foot. I
think it was his foot, and then he started skating again in like a ridiculous amount of time. Like it was really quick.
It was his foot. You are correct. That season, I thought he was going to hit 30 goals for the first time. He was on a tear. Broke his foot. Didn't hit 30 goals, and then from there on out, I think 30 goals every season.
Yeah, that's like the crazy thing about Kreider. For like 7 seasons straight, he would always just hit like mid-20s, and we were always just like, maybe one day he'll hit 30. And then one season, he was just like, all right, I'm just going to become a goal-scoring machine. And then he hit 50 and then 40 and then 40. like,
he's been great. Now, he was one of the first jerseys that I got. In order. It went Callahan, Stepan, Kreider. Those were my first 3. So, obviously, Kreider being the only player who I think remains in the league at this point. But Kreider has been just an absolute animal and a workhorse.
Did Stepan retire?
I don't think he's signed. I think he might have been forced to retire. But Kreider is one of the only people who remains from those teams in the earlier years in the Rangers' heyday when they were pushing for cups and President's trophies and whatnot. He went through the rebuild. He survived it all. When it's all said and done, I think his name will be in the rafters. He might be one of the final Rangers that you see actually start his career and end it with the Rangers.
Yeah, that's true. He's going to retire, Ranger.
I think he's
Also,
few that you will see. I think that it's a rare breed nowadays in terms of sports. It is there is obviously like a passion to it and a passion aspect of it, but it's also a business, and sometimes the business aspects of it don't line up. I think that when it's all said and done, Kreider will be one of the last Rangers that you see start and end his career with one team.
Yeah. Also, Colin, don't worry. I know we said that you were just going to be Will for the rest of the stream, and then people are calling you Will, so that's going to bother me. So I'm going to fix that in just a brief moment.
I am Will. What do you mean?
No, I'm Will.
You're Eric.
All right, it's loading. Boom. There you go.
Do that.
What?
I'm me.
You're you again. Yeah. Okay, let's look here. But what did Roderick say?
Let's see everybody. Let's start to wrap this up. Let's see everybody else's score predictions. We got 5 minutes left.
We do have 5 minutes left. We'll end it at 2.5 hours. Drop your score predictions down below. I'll read these that I have left, and then we'll give our score predictions and end it. But Roderick says he has a buddy like you, Colin. That's Rangers Jets. He gives the Jets every pass, but the moment the Rangers step out of line, he's like Randy Quaid's character from the movie Major League 2. I've never seen the movie, so I don't get it.
I do understand that one.
Yeah. Roger says it's going to be 4-0. You know what, Colin? I kind of like what Courtney said. I think it's going to be 4-2 Rangers. Goal scorers are going to be Artemi Panarin, and Ryan Lindgren.
And Ryan. Nothing will be better than watching Ryan Lindgren score on his brother. I think that's like, I don't know. For me, there's something that hits for that. I think that's just funny. I think on top of the fact that it's funny as hell, I think that like that's something that they can talk about forever. Ryan can hold it over his brother forever, like for a long time. And I think that the Rangers are probably going to look to get it to Ryan as much as they can. Obviously, Ryan isn't the best goal scorer, but he does have some beauties. If we can go back to 2 years ago against the Hurricane, he scored an absolute nip against them. Obviously, he also scored against us when he tried to stop the puck in overtime. He's done that a couple of times, but I think that's like something that we'd talk about for a long time is Ryan scoring against his brother in a game 4 and a potential sweep. If we win. Obviously, if we lose, we're going to forget about that. Let's see. Joe says 3-0. We're seeing a lot of shutouts. I think Igor's going to show up tonight, and I'm here for that. He says 3-0, but then he says no shutout tonight, which is a little contradictory here.
Either way, he's right.
I guess so. Trouba's going to rock somebody tonight. Trouba from the third pair. I sure hope he does. I hope he puts Tom Wilson.
I hope it does.
Yeah, I hope is borderline concussion protocol when Trouba's done. I hate Tom Wilson. I hope he's obviously, but I hope Trouba puts him on his butt and wakes him up a little bit just because of all the things he said and the things that he's done in the past.
Yeah, I agree. Mom, before we wrap up the stream, do you want to give your score predictions and who's going to score and everything?
Yes. I'm going to say Zibanejad because,
Okay.
Well, first, definitely Panarin.
No, start with the score. What's the final score going to be?
3-0.
Okay, 3-0.
Panarin, Zibanejad. No, but a good fight. I'm getting a good fight out of Rempe.
Igor Shesterkin, is he going to score?
He's the goalie, isn't he?
He took a shot last night. Almost 2 nights ago.
No, the goalie's not going to score. Kreider. Those are my 3.
All right, the big 3: Panarin, Mika,
and big 3.
And a Rempe fight.
Lock it in, fans. Lock it in.
Or at least a swing.
I'm here for it.
All right. There's that prediction. As Joe says, Mom knows best. So, Colin, do you have any final thoughts, or should I wrap this thing up and we get out of here?
we can give our score predictions. Did we give those? You gave yours, right?
I gave mine. Yeah, I don't remember if we gave yours. My brain is turned off by now. It's been 2.5 hours of this.
My final is 5-1.
5. Well, that's a big win right there. Who's your goal scorers?
Who's my goal scorers? Well, I think it's going to be a 3-1 game. I think the Caps are going to get down to the wire. They're going to pull a goal. I think 2 empty netters. I'm thinking, Laugh has to get on the board. I agree with, I think it was Frank who said it before, that he's going to get on the board. Yeah, Frankie Falone said that Laugh has to score. I think he does. I think he gets a big one here tonight. I think Trocheck's going to score, as he has been all season in all series. Let's see. I think call me crazy. I think Wenberg gets on the goal on the score. I think the third line finally breaks through.
I want to see that third line get involved.
I think the third line finally breaks through tonight. So I have Laugh. Oh my god, I said Kako. I'll take a Kako goal. I'll say Laugh, Trocheck, Wenberg, Kako, and then I'll say Kreider to bury it as the final. Right? Is that 5?
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys heard it here first. The Rangers are going to absolutely dominate the Capitals. Do the word that I'm not allowed to say, but win a certain amount of games in a row, not take any losses, then move on. So, wait, Colin, finish the beer so we can lock it in at 8.
I'm halfway through. You got to lock it.
All right, finish the beer by the time I'm done with the intro. I'll take it slow. Thank you to everyone who joined us throughout today's live stream. This has easily been the longest piece of content that we've ever produced, 2.5 hours long. I know when we started, we said we might go a little longer than the original planned hour. We might have went a little overboard, but it is what it is. It looks like we had a lot of fun. So we'll be back tomorrow to do a Game 4 reaction and breakdown, maybe even a potential round 2 preview if we get there. Colin has finished his beer. The final verdict was 8 beers consumed in 2.5 hours.
7. Was it 7?
Oh, but you're on. Oh, yeah, I guess finished 7. So we did hit the over. Congrats, Roger. Congrats, myself. We were the only 2 that voted or bet. So thank you to everyone who joined us. If you did enjoy and you are new, make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell so you don't miss a notification. If you're watching us on Apple or Spotify, be sure to give us a 5-star review. Leave your thoughts throughout the game down in this comment section. We'll be checking it throughout the entire game. And lastly, be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms at Fireside Rangers on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Once again, have a good one. Thanks for sticking with us for this long
Long time.
Have a good one. And let's go Rangers.